This video covers Chapter 81 to 113. For previous chapters, please check our playlist or search on the channel. Chapter 81 Nagato, there is no real peace in this world. Chapter 81 Nagato, there is no real peace in this world. Then, what is that? New jutsu. I have never seen this kind of ninjutsu. Could it be a new ninjutsu developed by Naruto? Seeing Susanoo, everyone in Konoha watching the battle was in an uproar, and they all speculated about Susanoo's truth. However, the expressions of the third generation and other older generation ninjas changed drastically, with expressions of disbelief on their faces. Susanoo. Third generation looked like it had seen a ghost. Why does Naruto use Susanoo? Is he from the Uchiha clan? No, impossible. Naruto is the child of Minato and Kushina. He can't be from the Uchiha clan. The third generation is completely confused. If they are not from the Uchiha clan, why would they use Susanoo? Susanoo. Tendo Pain stared at Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto, I didn't expect you to be able to use Susanoo. Tiandao looked into Naruto's eyes, and sure enough, they were a pair of Mangekyō. You and the Uzumaki clan have Rinnegan, so it's normal for me to be able to use Susanoo, right? Naruto stood on Susanoo's head, surrounded by green chakra. Keep fighting. Naruto controlled Susanoo, swung the auger bit in his hand, and stabbed Tendo Pain hard. Shinra Tenjang. Tiandao raised his right hand. A terrifying repulsive force erupted, and the auger bit that Naruto hit was instantly bounced away. I've been waiting for you. The corners of Naruto's mouth raised slightly. Flying Thunder God technique. Naruto disappeared instantly. The next second, Tiandao Pain suddenly appeared behind him, and the auger bit in his hand stabbed out again. Puff! The auger bit suddenly penetrated Tiandao Pain's body and beat him to pieces. Shinra Tenjang is very powerful. Naruto looked down at Tiandao, but the cooling time of 5 seconds is enough to be fatal to me. In a battle between masters, 1 second is very long, let alone 5 seconds. For Naruto, who has the Flying Thunder God, 5 seconds is enough for him to kill Tendo several times. 5 seconds is too long. Uzumaki Naruto, you are indeed powerful. Even though his body was penetrated, Tiandao Pain's expression never changed. Shinra Tenjang. Boom! A repulsive force swept across, and Naruto was ejected together with the auger bit in his hand. At this time, a black sphere happened to fly from the horizon. Tiandao Planetary Devastation. Tiandao Pain clapped his hands. 27, he could no longer subdue Naruto by himself, so he could only use his trump card, Planetary Devastation. An unparalleled and terrifying gravitational force swept out from the black sphere and poured out wantonly on the earth. Rumble. The ground trembled violently. Stones, soil, and buildings were uncontrollably attracted to the black sphere. Click. Rumble. The earth cracked open and rocks shattered. The ground collapsed and rocks floated up. This scene seemed like the end of the world was coming, and everyone in Konoha changed their expressions and showed fear. What kind of ninjutsu is this? Why are the stones flying into the sky? Eyes, I can't control my body. Pull me up quickly. The gravitational force erupted by planetary devastation is truly terrifying. Even everyone in Konoha, watching the battle from a distance, felt the terrifying suction force. Fortunately, they helped each other and stayed away in time, and no one was sucked into the planetary devastation. Naruto is not so lucky. The gravity was strongest where he was, and that terrible traction was tearing his body apart crazily. Naruto was sucked and flew towards the sky, and like countless rocks and soil, he was pulled towards the black ball. I finally used this trick. Naruto shook his head and activated the Flying Thunder God technique, disappearing without a trace. Tiandao was completely dumbfounded. Planetary devastation is the strongest attack he can currently unleash, capable of sealing any tailed beast. But Naruto disappeared. How to do this? Damn it! Tiandao was a little crazy. The Flying Thunder God technique is so disgusting. Why is there such a ninjutsu? Are you looking for me? Naruto's voice sounded from behind, and Tiandao suddenly turned his head and met a pair of blood-red eyes. Blood-colored pupils, triangular pinwheel shape. It's none other than Itachi's Mangekyō. Tsukuyomi. Naruto glared with his left eye. Tiandao froze and stood there blankly. It seems your Rinnegan is not immune to illusions. Naruto smiled lightly and activated crystal style, directly turning Tiandao into a crystal sculpture. Naruto gave a gentle push, and the crystal sculpture fell to the ground with a click and shattered into pieces. God's way, death. Won. We won. Long live Naruto. Naruto, he did it. He really defeated Pain and PR. Chapter 82 Lottery. Eternal Mangekyō Chapter 82 Lottery. Eternal Mangekyō. Nagato froze in place, speechless for a long time. He was stunned, his eyes were distracted and lifeless. The future will actually be like this. Nagato murmured to himself with cold sweat rolling on his forehead. The eye of the moon actually. Nagato. Seeing Nagato's lost look, Konan couldn't help but become nervous. What's wrong with you? Don't scare me. Nagato didn't seem to hear and didn't respond to Konan. He seemed to be going crazy. Konan glared at Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto, what on earth did you do to Nagato? Didn't do anything, just told him the truth about everything, Naruto said with a smile. The truth. Konan was confused. After being silent for a long time, Nagato finally came back to his senses, and his eyes became extremely complicated. Uzumaki Naruto, maybe you are right. There is really no absolute peace in this world, but conflicts can be transferred and peace in the ninja world can be achieved. After knowing what happened in the future, Nagato knew that his tailed beast weapon plan was a joke. 10 tails, Obito, Uchiha Madara, Otsutsuki Kaguya, the Otsutsuki clan one after another. What is the use of tailed beast weapons in front of these dangerous people who can easily destroy ninjas and overthrow the ninja world? It's just food for these people to become stronger. In addition, just as Naruto said, in the face of these dangerous people, the major ninja villages will definitely join forces. In the process of fighting against foreign enemies, everyone cooperates with each other, understands each other, and deepens the bond. Over time, they can indeed understand each other, no longer resort to force, and achieve relative peace in the ninja world. It's a pity that I can't wait for that day. Nagato sighed, Naruto, although I don't know why you know the future. But I hope you can protect this world and the peace of the ninja world as I see it. I will. Naruto nodded slightly. Thanks. Nagato slowly formed seals with his hands, and his voice was trembling and hoarse. Heretic Rin Tensei technique. Konan's expression suddenly changed. Nagato, you. Konan, don't stop me. I took the wrong path before, but I have found a new choice. You have to be happy for me, not sad. Nagato smiled and activated the Rin Tensei technique. Konan lost consciousness for a moment. She knew very well that with Nagato's current chakra, he would definitely die if he used the Rin Tensei technique. What Konan couldn't understand was what Naruto showed Nagato that actually changed Nagato's mind. This puzzled her very much. After using the Rin Tensei technique, the remaining chakra in Nagato's body was completely drained. After I invaded, everyone who was killed in Konoha should have been resurrected. This can be considered a bit of compensation. In my eyes. Nagato gasped. When I die, I hope you can take away these eyes and don't leave them to them. Nagato refers to Obito and Madara. He already knows all the truth and does not want to leave Rinnegan to those two people. Thanks. Naruto whispered. And Konan. Nagato looked at Konan again and asked, Konan, after I die, you can follow Naruto. For me, for Yahiko, for true peace, live well. For me and Yahiko, look at the future world, look at real peace. I really want to see that day. Nagato. Tears welled up in Konan's eyes, his voice was sad, and his eyes contained endless sadness. She has been dependent on Nagato and Yahiko since she was a child, struggling to survive in the war. Nagato and Yahiko are everything to Konan. Yahiko is dead, and she still has Nagato. Now that even Nagato is dead, Konan feels that life has completely lost its meaning and has no motivation to live. It's not difficult if you want to take a look. Naruto said, "When you die, I will reincarnate you into the impure world, and you can still stay in this world." Impure world reincarnation. Nagato moved his lips and agreed, "Thank you." Nagato has no nostalgia for life, but he does want to see the future world and see true peace. Impure world reincarnation may be a solution. Thinking of being able to visit the future, Nagato lost all regrets. A smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, and he slowly closed his eyes. He died. This villain who grew up lonely and was eventually bewitched to embark on the path of extreme peace is finally dead. Naruto couldn't be happier, even a little sad. Nagato. Konan burst into tears. "Sister Nan, don't be sad." Naruto couldn't help but said with relief, "Find a way to impure world reincarnation first. Maybe there will be hope for resurrection in the future." Real. Konan looked at Naruto with tears in his eyes. "I know at least 2 ninjutsu that can resurrect the dead." Naruto sighed, "One is." Chapter 83, Sasuke Invades Konoha. Filled with hatred. Chapter 83, Sasuke Invades Konoha. Filled with hatred. After obtaining the eternal Mangekyō, Naruto added Mangekyō practice to his daily training schedule. "I used to be afraid of blindness and didn't dare to practice, but now I can practice openly." Ever since, Naruto exercises Susanoo in the morning and exercises his pupils, refining Ashura Chakra and exercising Sage Body in the afternoon. The cultivation of immortal eyes and Sage Body go hand in hand, and neither one falls behind. Evenings are generally free. Sometimes when Jiraiya came back, Naruto would accompany Jiraiya to soak in hot springs, collect materials, and play around. If Hinata comes back from a mission, stay with Hinata. Naruto also took the time to go to Hyuga's house and have dinner with Hinata's family. Hyuga Hayashi's attitude towards Naruto was completely different from the first time they met. He was very enthusiastic. Hanabi speaks like a brother-in-law, and his name is very smooth. Sometimes I get together with other Zyokyang to eat barbecue and ramen, which is fulfilling and comfortable. As time goes by, Naruto becomes more and more skilled in using Susanoo, and the Sage Body becomes more and more powerful. On the 6th and 21st days of drawing Eternal Mangekyō, Naruto drew 2-tailed beast chakra respectively. 2 tails Metatabi, 4 tails Sun Wukong. Counting the 1 tail and 6 tails drawn previously, Naruto has drawn 4-tailed beast chakra. Naruto sealed the 2 tails and 4 tails into the Gedo statue, dug a palace under the forest outside Konoha village, and hid the Gedo statue inside. After all, the Kingdom of Wind was too far away from Konoha. Naruto was worried that the Gedo statue would be stolen, so he hid it close to him. Naruto didn't dare to underestimate the thieves in the Hokage world. For a guy like Kabuto, you have to be on guard against him, but he might suddenly appear and give you a surprise. It's safer to keep it by your side. A month passed in the blink of an eye. That afternoon, Naruto was refining Ashura Chakra in the forest, and was called over by Tsunade again. "Sister Tsunade, is something wrong?" Naruto walked into Hokage's office. "Problem occurs." Tsunade sighed. "Sasuke led people to attack 8 Tails JinchūRiki and captured 8 Tails." Tsunade slapped the table. Reikage was furious and proposed a 5-cage meeting to discuss jointly dealing with the Akatsuki organization. Sure enough, it still happened. Naruto sighed slightly. Tsunade raised his eyebrows and asked coldly, "Did you know in advance that this would happen?" "You can guess it." Naruto shrugged. After Sasuke kills Itachi, he will be seduced by the Akatsuki organization and join the Akatsuki organization. And I estimate that Sasuke probably already knows the truth about Itachi and Uchiha's genocide. Naruto shook his head and said, "Maybe he hates Konoha very much now and wants to destroy Konoha." Tsunade gritted his teeth. "If I had known today, I should have kept him when he defected." "There's no point saying this now." Naruto waved his hand, not wanting to continue talking about this topic, and said, "Sister, where will the 5 Shadows Conference 60 be held? When are you going to leave? The location is in the Land of Iron. Tsunade said, the Kingdom of Iron is a neutral country and a country guarded by warriors. It is in the interest of all parties. If there's time, let's do it tomorrow. Having said this, Tsunade looked at Naruto and said, for this meeting, each cage can bring 2 guards. I decided to take you and Kakashi. Is that okay? I'm okay. Naruto agreed. He happened to want to go to the 5 Shadows conference and see the world. Then go back and prepare well, and we will officially set off tomorrow morning. Tsunade acted vigorously. Naruto walked out of the Hokage building and found Shikamaru, Choji, Hinata, and others standing outside. Except for Sasuke, all the other 10 have arrived. Why did you get so many people together today? Naruto said with a smile. Naruto, that's what the other side said. Everyone led Naruto to the corner. Shikamaru got straight to the point and said, Naruto, do you know that Sasuke joined Akatsuki and captured the 8 Tails JinchūRiki? I just heard the Hokage talk about it. Naruto nodded and asked doubtfully, how do you know? You have sharp ears. Ino's father works in the intelligence service. Shikamaru explained briefly and said, Sasuke has completely fallen now. What are you going to do? Hinata, Sakura-chan, Choji, Lee, Neji, and others also looked at Naruto, wanting to hear his opinion. What do you mean? Naruto asked instead without answering. Everyone looked at each other in total silence. It was Shikamaru who took the initiative and said, Sasuke is our contemporary and our friend. He has now fallen to this point, and T. Chapter 84 Erzhu, show you the complete body Susanoo. Chapter 84 Erzhu, show you the complete body Susanoo. Looking at the entire Konoha, there are no more than 5 people who know the truth about the Uchiha genocide. Initially only the 3rd generation, Danzo, Uchiha Koharu and Mitakato Hamura knew about it, and later Tsunade also knew about it. Other than that, no one in Konoha knew anything. Everyone thought that the Uchiha clan was destroyed by the traitor Uchiha Itachi. But who would have thought? For a moment, everyone's eyes changed when they looked at 3rd generation, Uchiha Koharu and Mitakato Hamura, with a hint of fear. Yes, the Uchiha clan is arrogant, and everyone hates them. But there are also old people and children in the Uchiha clan. Do these people deserve to die too? Obviously, he is the shadow and senior management of the village, and he shoulders the responsibility of protecting the village and the villagers. Tilda. Shuyu sneered, full of sarcasm. In the end, even the defenseless old and weak were not spared. How ironic. You, the cruel and ruthless senior management of Konoha Stall, are really in trouble. 8 lifetimes of bad luck. Hearing Suigetsu's taunt, everyone in Konoha felt ashamed and did not refute. Uchiha Koharu refuted loudly. The Uchiha clan is trying to stage a coup and seize power with arms. With the power of the Uchiha clan at that time, once a coup was launched, the village would fall into huge civil strife. At that time, if the enemy country takes the opportunity to invade, the village will fall into a greater crisis. Uchiha Koharu glared at Sasuke. Tell me, what could we have done in that situation? Are you just watching the Uchiha clan launch a coup and plunge the village into an abyss of destruction? Old woman, you're changing your mind. Suigetsu sneered. Uchiha is going to launch a coup, just kill the participants. Why aren't even children spared? Are children as young as 3 and 5 years old participating in the coup? Uchiha Koharu was speechless. Why don't you even let the children go? Of course, this is to eliminate the root cause and avoid future troubles. But obviously you can't say this, it's too cruel. Why let Itachi go? Sasuke glared at 3rd generation. Why do you have to let him kill his own compatriots with his own hands? The Uchiha clan is about to launch a coup, and the village masters take action against them, and Sasuke admits it. What he can't understand is, why would you let Itachi do such a thing? It's so cruel to both Uchiha and Itachi. Itachi has been a careful child since he was a child. He discovered the teachings left by his ancestors and understood the origin of the village and ninjas. Therefore, he is not bound by his family. 3rd generation side. He has his own independent thinking about the future of ninjas and the village. Itachi, who is only 7 years old, is a boy with Hokage thinking, so I entrust everything to him. And he did a great job, single-handedly quelling the impending war. You even sneaked into Akatsuki alone, and the condition I gave you was to keep you in the village for protection. Sasuke trembled all over, with a look of sudden sadness on his face. That's true. It turns out to be like this. Everyone around was in disbelief. No one thought that the truth behind Itachi's destruction of Uchiha was actually like this. For a long time, Itachi has been regarded as a crazy and vicious traitor in everyone's hearts. But who would have thought? Itachi killed his compatriots with his own hands, actually to protect the village, and he got the order from the generation. If it hadn't been for him, it might have turned into a war, and Konoha might have been destroyed. The former crazy murderer suddenly transformed into a hero who silently protected the village. Everyone has mixed feelings in their hearts: shame, sympathy, admiration, disbelief. Itachi, brother. Sasuke fell into endless sadness, with unspeakable grief in his eyes. But when he saw everyone in Konoha, this grief turned into unforgettable hatred. It's you Konoha who killed my brother. It's you who destroyed the Uchiha clan. I will kill you all. I will destroy Konoha to avenge my brother in Uchiha. Everyone was trembling and looked at Sasuke warily. Sasuke. Little Sakura was crying and shaking her head, trying to stop Sasuke. Sasuke, don't be blinded by hatred. Kakashi shouted, those who shout for revenge all day long will not end well. Don't be controlled by hatred. Kakashi sympathizes with Itachi and the Uchiha clan. But what happened has happened and cannot be undone. But Sasuke is still alive. Kakashi did not want his former disciple to go against Konoha and embark on the path of self-destruction. Haha, terohase. Sasuke laughed as if he had heard the funniest joke in the world. Laughing Kraz. Chapter 80, 5 Shadows Talk. Naruto becomes the focus. Chapter 80, 5 Shadows Talk. Naruto becomes the focus. Shisui. What's the meaning? Everyone was puzzled. Shiwa. A figure appeared instantly. Wearing a black robe, Anbu's exclusive animal mask, and carrying a short sword, his appearance cannot be seen clearly. Everyone looked at the person coming in unison. Show Erzhu. Naruto said to the visitor. The visitor nodded and took off the animal mask on his face, revealing a delicate and handsome face. Uchiha Shisui. Seeing this person, third generation, Yutane Koharu and Mitakato Hamura's expressions changed instantly, as if they had seen a ghost. Kakashi, Might-Guy, Asuma, Kurenai Yuhei, Narashikaku, and others were also shocked. Uchiha Shisui. He is alive. It's really Uchiha Shisui. Isn't he dead? What's the matter? Jai Shisui brother. Sasuke was also shocked. He was one of the younger generation who didn't know much about water. Sasuke looked at Shisui. His eyes widened with a strange expression on his face. Shisui, are you really Shisui? Third generation said excitedly, aren't you dead? With the third generation's eyesight, one can naturally see that Shisui at this time is not an impure world reincarnation, but a real living being. Third generation found it strange. Shisui was obviously dead, so why is he alive again? What happened to him? Third Hokage-sama, it was Naruto who revived me. Shisui had a gentle and sunny smile on his face. Naruto. The third generation was stunned and looked at Naruto in disbelief. Naruto, what on earth is going on? This is more complicated to say. Naruto shrugged. To put it simply, I developed a special resurrection ninjutsu and resurrected Shisui. So simple. Everyone looked at each other. Simple. Naruto smiled. How could it be as simple as 163? Naruto had previously comforted Konan, saying that his reincarnation technique had hope of resurrecting Nagato. It was indeed a word of relief at the time, but Naruto also believed that this idea had great operational value. Because once successful, many people can be resurrected. So these days, Naruto sends out a large number of shadow clone to let them conduct relevant experiments. Everything failed at first, until accidentally, Shadow Clone caught several white Zetsu. Use White Zetsu as a sacrifice to perform Impure World Reincarnation. Then control White Zetsu, and let White Zetsu cast his own reincarnation to resurrect the Impure World Reincarnation. This time, it actually worked. Naruto was so happy that he sent a large number of Shadow Clone to capture White Zetsu all over the world and continue the experiment. A series of tests prove, by using White Zetsu to initiate reincarnation, you can resurrect the Impure World Reincarnation person who was sacrificed by White Zetsu. Naruto didn't know the rationale for this, but it wasn't important. The results were the most important. This is an unprecedented miracle. Naruto has truly achieved the same feat as the Rinnegan Rin Tensei technique. The first important person that Naruto resurrected was Uchiha Shisui. Naruto possesses Uchiha Shisui's right eye and can easily obtain Shisui's genetic material. Dirty soil first. Reincarnate yourself again. Then Shisui comes alive. After his resurrection, Shisui has been lurking in the dark, understanding the changes in Konoha and the ninja world. Just think of it as simple. Naruto smiled lightly and did not intend to elaborate, but turned to Shisui and said, "Shisui, please advise this compatriot of yours. He is a little crazy now and wants to destroy Konoha. As Itachi's friend and a compatriot of Erzhu, you have the obligation to persuade him." "I see." Shisui nodded and turned to look at Sasuke. "I didn't expect you to be so old in a blink of an eye, Sasuke." "Shisui, brother." Sasuke looked at Shisui blankly, a little incoherent. Are you really Shisui's brother?" Sasuke not only knows Shisui, but also has a good relationship with her. Shisui was 3 years old and Captain was 8 years old. Shisui was 16 when he died, and Sasuke was already 8 years old. Shisui is Itachi's best friend and a member of the Konoha police force. She often visits Sasuke's house. How could Sasuke not be familiar with Shisui? "It's me." Shisui smiled slightly, and his right eye turned into 3 Rinne-Sharingan and then into Mangekyō. He only had this one eye, which Naruto got from Danzo, and the remaining left eye was in Itachi's hand. Now that Itachi is dead, his left eye is missing. Seeing this scene, Sasuke no longer has any doubts. Only the Uchiha clan can shut down Sharingan at will. Outsiders can't do it like Kakashi. "Brother Shisui, you." Sasuke was a little incoherent. Since his family died when he was 8 years old, he was the only one left in the Uchiha clan. Now Chapter 86, the second pillar was blasted. Chapter 86, the second pillar was blasted. White Zetsu is indeed a joke. On such a serious occasion, his hello made the atmosphere in the venue very funny. Naruto was so amused that he almost laughed. The 5 shadows were irritated and glared angrily. The other guards, except Naruto, immediately stood in front of their cage, ready to go. "Don," Anoki said coldly, "your Akatsuki organization is too arrogant, and you actually run wild in a place like this." Reikage turned on the lightning-style chakra mode and glared at White Zetsu with gritted teeth. "Looking at that posture, I want to eat White Zetsu alive." White Zetsu was completely frightened and shouted with a smile, "Uchiha Sasuke is here." White Zetsu danced enchantingly and shouted passionately, "Where is it hidden? Let's all come find Sasuke." "Sasuke." White Zetsu stirred up 1,000 waves with one stone, and the other 4 shadows except Tsunade instantly became energetic. Sasuke joined the Akatsuki organization and helped Akatsuki capture the 8 Tails JinchūRiki. In the eyes of the 4 shadows, this was completely against the 5 ninja villages, and this meeting was started because of this. Therefore, everyone wants to find Sasuke and use him to interrogate the whereabouts of 8 Tails and the intelligence of the Akatsuki organization. Naruto, Tsunade, and Kakashi looked at each other with a hint of worry in their eyes. Team Eagle followed them to the Kingdom of Iron. They attended the 5 Shadows conference, and Team Eagle stayed at the hotel at the foot of the mountain to rest. Because of Uchiha Shisui's resurrection, Sasuke obviously showed signs of changing his mind. So Tsunade decided to hide Sasuke's whereabouts for the time being. After the meeting is over, try to persuade Sasuke to let go of his hatred and return to the village. Unexpectedly, White Zetsu discovered it first. If the other 4 cages knew Sasuke's whereabouts, things would be in complete trouble. Whoosh! Reikage jumped in front of White Zetsu, grabbed White Zetsu's neck, grabbed White Zetsu like an eagle grabbing a chicken, gritted his teeth, and roared. Where is Uchiha Sasuke? Answer me, where is he? If you don't answer properly, Ieyasu will crush you to death. Reikage looked ferocious. There's really nothing I can do about you. White Zetsu looked helpless. Then let me give you some tips. Reikage suddenly used force and crushed White Zetsu's neck, and said to Nozomi behind him, Nozomi, feel it. Okay, boss. Sai felt it immediately. Everyone was a little speechless. Terumi May couldn't help complaining. Reikage, even if you can sense Sasuke's location, there is no need to kill him. If you interrogate him properly, you might be able to get information about Akatsuki. Akatsuki members will not leak information. They are all one-minded guys. Gaara shook his head. Boss, I found it. Nozomi opened her eyes. What? Reikage's figure flashed out of the venue, and Zion Darui followed immediately. What should we do? Onoki looked at the other 3 cages. Go and see. Gaara stood up, looked at Naruto, and said, I haven't seen Sasuke for a long time. It's just a good time to meet him. Then let's go together. Everyone left the venue together and swooped down the snow-capped mountains toward the foot of the mountain. Everyone else was skiing forward, while Naruto and Onoki were flying in midair, flying down the hillside. This scene surprised Onoki. Kid, do you know how to use our rock shinobi's super light heavy rock technique? The super light heavy rock technique is not a very advanced ninjutsu. You can master it with just a little thought. Naruto laughed as he flew. Hee hee. Onomupi is smiling, but not smiling. Kuretsuchi, who would inherit the position of Tsuchikage in the future, and was known as the Leg Shadow, couldn't help but look at Naruto twice. The ultralight heavy rock technique is the secret of their rock shinobi, and it is impossible for outsiders to learn it. Naruto actually knows it. Also, is this guy the one who killed Brother Dilla? It doesn't look like it at all. The group of people moved very quickly and swooped down the mountain in a moment, surrounding the hotel where Sasuke was staying. Uchiha Sasuke, get out of here. Reikage looked ferocious and roared angrily. The rolling sound waves formed shock waves that spread out in circles, causing the snowflakes on the trees to fall and rustle. What a grumpy guy. Onoki couldn't help but complain. The hotel door opened, and the Eagle team rushed out. The leader, Sasuke, stared at everyone with an indifferent expression. Xianglin was frightened. Shuyu and Zhangwu looked solemn. Wang and others discovered it just now when they approached. She warned Sasuke to run away, but Sasuke didn't listen at all. Xianglin had no choice but to stay with Sasuke. Chapter 80, 7 Obito'S mentality collapsed. Chapter 80, 7 Obito'S mentality collapsed. The 5 shadows, the 10 guards, and everyone in the Eagle squad were all staring at Obito. Because of Naruto's information, you should all know about 10 tails now, right? Obito said indifferently. Everyone nodded. Everyone didn't know it before, but because of Naruto's information, everyone knew it. 10 tails has the most terrifying chakra in the world. Obito said, Sage of 6 Paths developed the tailed beast seal system in order to save the world. Then seal 10 tails within yourself, and become the world's first 10 tails JinchūRiki. In his later years, Sage of 6 Paths worried that after his death, 10 tails would riot again. So he took out the 10 tails chakra and divided it into 9 parts, which became the 9-headed tailed beast. The body of 10 tails was sent to the sky by Sage of 6 Paths and sealed, and became the moon. Konoha had announced this information before, but when they heard it again, everyone was still extremely shocked. Dividing 10 tails and creating the moon is so mysterious that it is simply not something that humans can do. You Akatsuki are collecting tailed beasts, obviously to resurrect 10 tails. What about after resurrecting 10 tails? Iron Country Admiral Mifune asked coldly. Resurrect Uchiha Madara, make him become 10 tails JinchūRiki. Because of Naruto, everyone knew that Madara was dead, so Obito did not call himself Madara. Obito denied Mifune's statement. I resurrected 10 tails in order to make myself 10 tails JinchūRiki. What is the purpose? Shuyu couldn't help but ask. Use the power of 10 tails to strengthen my eye power. Obito said calmly. Then project my eyes onto the moon and activate a large illusion. Infinite Tsukuyomi. Then pull everyone into the illusion and let me control everyone in the illusion so that the whole world becomes one. A perfect world with no barriers, no frictions, no wars, and no disputes. Everything becomes one with me, everything becomes one, this is my project Tsuki no Mi. Everyone was stunned. Everyone has speculated before that after Akatsuki collected tailed beasts, resurrected 10 tails, and became 10 tails JinchūRiki. A war may be launched, the ninja village may be destroyed, and the ninja system may even be destroyed. But no one expected it. Akatsuki's purpose is to cast a large-scale illusion and draw everyone into the world of illusion. This is ridiculous. What a joke. Reikage became furious and roared angrily. I will never hand over the world to people like you. Illusory peace is just a lie. Gaara sneered. Peace only makes sense if it is achieved in reality. Living in an illusion. Terumime said coldly. Without dreams and goals, this is simply escaping reality. Unify the world. Anoki looked at Obito. I remember Uchiha Madara said something similar a long time ago. In comparison, his unified world is at least more realistic, but your unified world is complete nonsense. A fantasy. Tsunade sneered. Actually, you 5 shadows also understand that there is no peace at all in this world, nor is there any hope. Obito said, hope is the same existence as giving up. Hope is a lie that perfunctory the world. Obito stared at the 5 shadows indifferently. I've said what needs to be said, now it's your turn to make a choice. Either hand over the remaining 8 tails, 9 tails, and half of 1 tail to assist my plan. Either. Obito slowly stood up, his eyes flashing coldly. The only thing we can do is start a war. War? Gaara sighed. 8 tails. Reikage was stunned. What's going on? Didn't 8 tails be captured by you? 8 tails capture failed. Obito shook his head. Killer B is the most perfect JinchūRiki, and he is worthy of being your brother. I knew it would be like this. Darui sighed helplessly. This idiot. Reikage was taken aback and immediately became furious. You must have taken this opportunity to run outside the village to play. Better than this bastard. Unforgivable. When I see him again, I will punish him severely. Neither Shukaku nor Uzumaki Naruto will leave it to you, Gaara said coldly. If you want to fight, fight. Terumime is not afraid. Reikage, Hokage, what about you? Onoki looked at Reikage and Tsunade. Of course I won't hand over my brother, Reikage shouted. Konoha will not hand over Naruto, Tsunade said coldly. Looks like there's nothing to talk about. Obito said slowly. I have 6.5 of the 9-tailed beasts in my hands, you have no chance. Fight to the end. Never give up. The 5 cages were not afraid to look into Obito's eyes. Then let's fight. Obito said coldly, I declare war on you here. The 4th Ninja War begins. Wang felt a chill in his heart, and his expression became extremely solemn. The 4th Nin. Chapter 88 Resurrection of Nawaki. Might die. Chapter 88 Resurrection of Nawaki. Might die. How so? How could Uzumaki Naruto know these things? In the unknown underground, Black Zetsu was completely confused. Resurrecting Mother Kaguya requires 2 necessary conditions. One is Rinnegan. The second is 10 tails. Black Zetsu has been planning for thousands of years, and tried his best to finally let Madara open the Rinnegan before she dies of old age. All that's left now is 10 tails. The collection of tailed beasts is also coming to an end. As long as the remaining 8 tails and 9 tails are caught, the resurrection of 10 tails is just around the corner. Seeing the resurrected mother in sight, I have never been so close to her in at least 1,000 years. Result: the truth that Uzumaki Naruto learned from nowhere destroyed Obito's mentality and caused this important chess piece to lose control. After years of hard work, and seeing that his efforts were about to fall short, Black Zetsu hated Naruto to death. Calm down, I have to calm down. Black Zetsu failed for thousands of years, but his ambition was far from ordinary after all, so he quickly calmed down. Obito's mentality has been shattered, and he may be losing control. We can no longer put our treasure on him. The top priority is to resurrect Madara quickly and let him take charge of the overall situation, but we cannot let Madara know the truth. No, with Madara's ambition, even if he knew the truth about infinite Tsukuyomi, he wouldn't believe it. This person is self-righteous and determined. He will never be easily fooled like Obito. Compared to Uzumaki Naruto's empty words, Madara is more willing to believe in the stone tablet left by Sage of Six Paths. I have to guide Yakushi Kabuto and make him become Madara, and Obito also has to fight for it. He is an important chess piece. We can't just let him go. We have to find a way to continue to fool him. Thinking of this, Black Zetsu couldn't sit still at all, and immediately escaped into the earth and disappeared nearby. The hundreds of white Zetsu lurking around also planned to leave after seeing Obito and Black Zetsu disappear. But this time they failed. Naruto opened up the earth with one move and dug up, bringing out all the hundreds of white Zetsu hidden underground. What do you want to do, Guy? The white Zetsu were shocked and angry, glaring at Naruto. Now that you're here, don't leave. Naruto smiled slightly, activated crystal style, created 100 crystal coffins, and sealed all the white Zetsu inside. White Zetsu is not easy to find. Previously, Naruto sent a large number of shadow clones all over the world to search for them, and found a dozen of them in total. Now that we encounter hundreds of white Zetsu, how can we let them go so easily? Shiwa. Naruto waved his hand and put the white Zetsu into the storage space. The 5 shadows talks ended quickly. The conference elected the commander of the coalition forces and appointed the captains of each army. The most critical point. This meeting allowed the 5 major ninja villages to completely unite to jointly deal with the upcoming crisis. This is unprecedented and marks an important step towards peace among the 5 ninja villages from confrontation to unity. After the meeting, the 5 shadows each returned to the village to deploy and prepare for war. Naru 693 also returned to the village with Tsunade and Kakashi. When leaving, he also took 3 people from the Eagle squad with him. Naruto helped them out. According to the wishes of the other 4 shadows, the 3 members of the Eagle squad were brought back to be tortured and tortured for more information about Akatsuki. Using ninja torture methods, even if Xianglin and the other 2 people did not die, they would still be skinned. Naruto came forward in time and took the initiative to stop the work for Konoha, so that the 4 shadows agreed to let him go. It's troublesome when you come here, but it's easy when you go back. Naruto activated the Flying Thunder God technique and took everyone back to Konoha and the Hokage office. Kakashi, give these 3 to Ibiki. Tsunade looked at the 3 members of the Eagle squad and said, let Ibiki torture as much information about Akatsuki as possible. Yes, Hokage-sama. Kakashi agreed and prepared to leave. Tsunade-ni, leave it to me. Naruto stood up and said, when it comes to torture of information, there is nothing more suitable than Mangekyō-Sharingan. Tsunade pondered for a moment and said, okay. Thank you, sister. Naruto smiled slightly and said to Xianglin and the others, come with me, don't play tricks. Naruto returned home with the 3 members of the Eagle team and built another house next door to his own house. You guys can live here from now on. Naruto looked at the 3 of them and said, don't even think Ob. Chapter 89, the Uchiha Clan. Chapter 89, the Uchiha Clan. Tsunade held a pre-war mobilization meeting at the Hokage building and made relevant arrangements. As the order is given, the entire Konoha was like a war machine, immediately started to move, and everyone started to get busy. Naruto got home and started getting ready. If I remember correctly, in this Ninja World War, the top combat power of the Akatsuki side was all the army of dirty soil. Naruto also planned to filth some masters for fun, and these days he had Shadow Clone prepare a lot of genetic material. Hadake Sarutobi, Shinosuke Akamichi, Uchiha Kagami Hyuga. There are also a large number of Uchiha people, such as Uchiha Fugaku, Uchiha Mikoto, Uchiha Yashiro, etc., totaling 41 people. Dirty Soil Hadake Sakumo and others need to dig graves, because only in this way can they find genetic material. The Uchiha clan doesn't use it. Naruto has a wall of Sharingan in his hand, and with the help of Sharingan, he can create the owner of the eyes. However, after Naruto got rid of these people, he was not in a hurry to free their souls. Instead, it was put in a coffin, buried underground, and then summoned out after 3 days. If you do it now, it will cause riots. Then there's Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina. To be honest, Naruto has been quite hesitant about whether to slander Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina. It's not that Naruto hates them, but that these two people have special identities and are Naruto's parents. Naruto didn't know how to face them. After all, he had taken over his son's body. Forget it, you have to face it eventually. Naruto shook his head. The Fourth Ninja World War can be without anyone, but Konoha F4 cannot be missing. Naruto resurrected Minato for another important reason. For the vagina inside Minato Ninetales. Up to now, Naruto has already drawn the chakra of 8-tailed beasts, and is only short of the 9-tails chakra to resurrect 10 tails. But when he drew the 9-tails chakra, Naruto himself couldn't tell. Just in case, you must prepare a copy of 9-tails chakra in advance as a backup. In this way, even if an emergency occurs, Obito and Madara become 10-tails JinchūRiki in advance and can deal with it calmly. Someone may ask, doesn't Naruto have half of 9-tails chakra in his body? This is true. But in order to resurrect 10 tails, 9 tails must first be extracted from Naruto's body and sealed into the Gedo statue. As a result, before becoming 10 tails JinchūRiki, Naruto himself died. Therefore, this half of 9 tails in the body cannot move, so it is better to resurrect Minato as a backup. He is a body made of filthy earth. Even if he draws out 9 tails, he will not die. It is a foolproof backup. Now the question is, Minato's soul is still in Shinigami's belly. To get rid of Minato, he must be rescued first. The process is more complicated. You need to wear the Shinigami mask of the Uzumaki clan to dance God tier, and the key is to make your own sacrifice. Naruto doesn't dare to do this, so let Orochimaru do it. He is the best at dealing with these gods and ghosts. Therefore, Orochimaru must be resurrected first. Boom! Naruto separated 2 shadow clone and asked them to find Anko and Jugo. Not long after, Anko and Chango were brought, and Xianglin and Suigetsu also joined in the fun. This month, Xianglin and Naruto were neighbors every day and became very familiar with each other. Naruto, do you have a problem with me? Anko looked at Naruto confused. Now she is at the peak of her appearance, with a tender face, big waves, good skin, a slim waist, fat hips, and a great figure. Sister Anko, I want to use your curse seal to resurrect Orochimaru. Naruto got straight to the point. Hearing this, Anko's face changed drastically and he said anxiously, Naruto, why did you want to resurrect Orochimaru? Anko's feelings towards Orochimaru are very complicated, with respect and fear, love and hate very contradictory. All in all, she doesn't want to resurrect Orochimaru at all. Sister Anko, I resurrected Orochimaru to resurrect my father, Namikaze Minato. There is no other intention. After Naruto explained the reason, he reluctantly convinced Anko and agreed to resurrect him. The resurrection process was disgusting. Orochimaru came out of the snake's belly again, covered in slime. Suigetsu was most afraid of Orochimaru. When he saw Orochimaru, he was so frightened that he hid behind Jugo. Anko's face was also ugly. His eyes were evil, and he stared at the big snake warily. Hee. Iconic husky voice. I didn't expect Naruto-kun to be the one who resurrected me. What a surprise. The Fourth Ninja War is about to break out. How can this war be without you? Naruto smiled slightly. You should know my purpose of resurrecting you. Is that okay? Orochimaru smiled confidently. You have found the right person. I am the... Chapter 90, Did Jiraiya Express Successfully? Chapter 90, Did Jiraiya Express Successfully? Naruto had been preparing for this battle for a long time. The result, that's it. Naruto, you have to understand the purpose of this war. Gaara advised. One is to destroy Akatsuki, and the other is to protect you and Killer Bee. As long as 8 tails and 9 tails are still in our hands, we have one half of this war. Good. Anoki also said, next, we will transfer you and Killer Bee to Tsunoshima. You and Killer Bee can just stay at Turtle Island and wait for the end of the 4th Ninja War. When the Ninja World War is over, you will naturally be released. This is not house arrest, but protection. Naruto suddenly felt helpless, looked at Tsunade and said, Sister Tsunade, do you mean this too? Tsunade remained silent, as she actually disagreed with this. Tsunade clearly knows how strong Naruto is. It is such a waste to hide such a top combat power as a decoration. But the 4 shadows all agreed to do this, and Tsunade had no choice. The minority had to obey the majority. Naruto, just stay calm. Tsunade sighed. Killer Bee is the perfect JinchūRiki. You can learn from him how to control 9 tails. Okay, since you all said so, let's do what you want first. Naruto waved his hand, but I have to remind you. The enemy's high-end combat power is beyond your imagination. The coalition forces alone cannot stop it. How do you say this? Tsunade immediately frowned. The 4 cages also looked at Naruto. Don't build up other people's ambitions and destroy your own prestige. Reikage was very unhappy and said, Our 5 major ninja villages, plus the Iron Country Samurai, have a total of 80,000 coalition troops. With such tyrannical power, even Zio is nothing more than a mantis using its arms as a chariot, and a worm shaking a tree. Our coalition forces will definitely be able to sweep through the Akatsuki organization and end this war. Master Reikage, you think too simply. Naruto sneered. 970, the enemy's high-end combat power this time is almost all Luotian Tenya. Including 1st generation, 2nd Hokage, 2nd Tsuchikage, 2nd Mizukage, 3rd Reikage, 4th Kazekage. Member of the original Akatsuki organization, and former JinchūRiki. In addition to these, almost all the famous masters in the history of the ninja world are in the opponent's camp. By the way, Uchiha Madara is probably here too. Faced with such a tyrannical force, I would like to ask Mr. Reikage, how can the coalition forces contend? Every time Naruto mentioned someone, the 5 shadows' expressions became darker. When Naruto finished speaking, the 5 shadows were completely quiet. Leaving aside others, 1st Hokage and Uchiha Madara alone make people change their minds. Another point. Naruto continued. The army of dirty soil has immortality and cannot be killed, it can only be sealed. Plus it has infinite chakra, knows no fatigue, and is a pure fighting machine. On the other hand, the ninja coalition is made of flesh and blood. How can it compete with the army of dirty soil? The 5 shadows were completely silent. Gaara asked expressionlessly, Naruto, is what you said true? There will be no lies. Naruto sighed. This month, I'm sending Shadow Clone to dig up graves and rob them everywhere. The purpose is to collect the genetic material of powerful people and create a group of masters for us. As you can see, I only produced White Fang, Shinosuke, Fugaku, and a few dozen others. It's not that I don't want to summon the others, it's because they have already been summoned and cannot come out. The 5 shadows looked at each other, feeling very heavy in their hearts. After Naruto's review, the opponent's high-end combat power was indeed a bit outrageous, even a bit scary. Naruto, is there any way to deal with this? Tsunade asked. Take a step and see what happens. Naruto shook his head. If the opponent is too strong and the coalition forces can't resist it, we will have to take action. Otherwise, once the coalition forces are completely wiped out, even if you protect me and 8 tails, it will be meaningless. The 5 shadows nodded silently. Indeed. The purpose of protecting 8 tails and 9 tails is to prevent the opponent from resurrecting 10 tails and activating infinite Tsukuyomi. In the final analysis, it is to protect the ninja world. Once the coalition forces are completely wiped out, What's the point of protecting 9 tails and 10 tails? In this case, it is better to take action together and fight to the death with the enemy. Maybe there is hope of victory. Then it's decided. Reikage punched the table and gritted his teeth and said, "The coalition forces will rest for a day, and all will be dispatched tomorrow to attack the northern end of the Frost Country Penny." Chapter 90, 1 Fairy Fox Mode, V's Lightning Style Chakra Mode. Chapter 90, 1 Fairy Fox Mode, V's Lightning Style Chakra Mode. Naruto and 4th Reikage AI stood facing each other. Tsunade, Onoki, Minato, Kushina, Jiraiya, Killer Bee, and others were watching the battle. "Nine Tails Kid, as long as you can defeat me, I will no longer stop you and will allow you to go to the battlefield." Reikage turns on Lightning Style Chakra Mode. Thunder and lightning overflowed all over the body, and the Thunder Attribute Chakra surged, exuding an extremely terrifying aura. "On the contrary, if you can't defeat me, just stay here and don't even think about leaving." Reikage frowned coldly. "I would rather kill you than allow you to step onto the battlefield. Let's talk after the battle." Naruto smiled lightly and was instantly surrounded by golden chakra, turning on the Fairy Fox mode. 6 black magatama appeared on his collar. 6 paths black patterns appeared on his face, and his pupils turned into cross eyes. For a moment, Naruto transformed into a little golden man, with golden light overflowing from his body, as if it was made of golden light. It is Kurama mode plus Sage mode, commonly known as Fairy Fox mode. This was the first time for everyone to see this pattern, and they couldn't help but look at Naruto with wide eyes and surprise. "What a terrifying chakra aura. Is this the power of 9 tails?" Tsunade exclaimed. "This is the power of 9 tails. Great, Naruto can finally use the power of 9 tails." Kushina's eyes filled with excitement. "Minato, your decision back then was right. No, this is not a simple 9 tails chakra." Minato was equally delighted. "It's the perfect 9 tails JinchūRiki tailed beast form. Not only that, I can also feel the surging natural energy, continuously gathering towards Naruto. This is probably the Sage mode in the perfect tailed beast form." That's true. The natural energy within hundreds of meters around is indeed converging towards Naruto. Jiraiya looked like he had seen a ghost. Naruto, this guy, not only mastered the perfect tailed beast transformation, but he can also use Sage mode at the same time. It's really amazing. Perfect tailed beast transformation plus Sage mode. Kushina opened her mouth in shock, her beautiful eyes flashing with surprise. By 9 tails JinchūRiki really has a skill. 8 tails set of Killer Bee. He actually perfectly combines tailed beast transformation with natural energy, which is really amazing. "So Big Brother is no match, bastard, idiot?" Killer Bee asked in his heart. "AI, this guy is probably going to get slapped in the face today." 8 Tails was a little gloating about his misfortune. 1-1. "Kid, no matter what mode you use, you can never beat me. I have the fastest speed in the ninja world." Reikage snorted coldly, and in a flash he was in front of Naruto. He raised his hand and struck a thunder level. Lateral Bolt of Pain is a terrifying move that gathers chakra in the hand and explodes it in an instant. Match the speed of the movie. This makes the Lateral Bolt of Pain incredibly powerful, enough to crush Sasuke's Susanoo. However, facing such a heavy blow, Naruto had no intention of evading, but instead raised his hand to grab it. "How dare you take my attack with your bare hands? You are seeking death." Movie snorted coldly and slashed down fiercely with the knife. Snapped. Naruto grabbed Reikage's wrist. The terrifying power contained in Lateral Bolt of Pain also disappeared at this moment. "How can it be?" Reikage's face changed greatly. He actually used my Lateral Bolt of Pain with his bare hands, this guy's power. The movie stirred up a storm in his heart. His strength, combined with his speed, was enough to sweep everything away. As a result, Naruto caught him with his bare hands, which somewhat subverted Reikage's cognition. "Lord Reikage, it's my turn to attack." Naruto raised the corner of his mouth, raised his knee at lightning speed, and hit Reikage hard in the abdomen. Boom! Reikage groaned. The whole person seemed to be hit by a speeding locomotive and flew out straight up. Naruto gained the upper hand and jumped in front of Reikage. He suddenly flew up and kicked Reikage on the chin. Reikage flew into the air and flew backwards. Naruto strangely appeared above Reikage again, whipped his leg in the air, and hit Reikage in the abdomen. Boom! Reikage hit the ground hard, making a big hole in the ground, and his whole body was embedded in the big hole. Naruto did not continue to attack. He flashed and returned to the original place, dispersing the fairy fox mode. There was dead silence. Everyone looked at Reikage paralyzed in the pit, stunned and dumbfounded. No one expected that the battle between Naruto and Reikage would turn out like this. As the saying goes, you don't know if you don't come. Chapter 92, Uzumaki Narutovs Uchiha Madara. Chapter 92, Uzumaki Narutovs Uchiha Madara. Susanoo is the ultimate and most coveted power among the Uchiha clan. Unfortunately, since the death of Uchiha Madara, this divine power has completely disappeared and has become a legend. Therefore, many Uchiha people have grown up hearing stories about Susanoo, but have never seen one. Today, I finally saw it. Kid, are you from the Uchiha clan? Second Mizukage stared at Naruto solemnly. No. Naruto wields the 10-fist sword, earning 100 second Mizukage. This attack has no effect on me. Second Mizukage snorted softly, and his body disappeared, as if it had never appeared. This is the ability of his summoningman. It can create extremely large mirages. Use mirages to confuse the enemy, so that they cannot discover the true location of Second Mizukage. Naruto didn't stop at all, and continued to slash into the air. As if something had been struck in the void, a figure quietly appeared. It was Second Mizukage. Kid, how could that happen? Second Mizukage looked at the 10-fist sword that penetrated his abdomen with a look of astonishment in his eyes. Senior, in front of Mangekyō, this method of yours is just a trick. Naruto explained casually, pulled out the soul of Second Mizukage, and sealed it into the 10-fist sword. Another one solved. So amazing. It's really amazing. Long live, long live. The coalition ninjas were excited and cheered loudly. The four shadows joined forces and made them suffer a lot before. As a result, Naruto took action and killed the third Reikage and the second Mizukage in 2 or 3 strokes. It was really amazing. I remember Sasuke seemed to be the same age as Naruto. Uchiha Fugaku looked at Naruto and thought of his youngest son. I wonder how Sasuke is doing now. I didn't expect Uzumaki Naruto to have grown to this point. He is indeed a genius valued by Lord Orochimaru. In a certain underground mine, Kabuto sensed the disappearance of the third Reikage and the second Mizukage one after another, and couldn't help but push up his glasses. Forget it, it's time for him to appear. He is the ace I have prepared for this war. Kabuto laughed. I believe that as long as he appears, he should be able to defeat Naruto, right? No, it's not that it should be. It must be possible. After all, he is the second person in the world, besides Sage of 6 Paths to open Rinnegan. The 4th Army battlefield. Second Tsuchikage Mew, who was fighting with Onoki, suddenly disappeared in midair and disappeared. Where's Mr. Wu? Onoki turned around and looked around, but there was no trace of Wu. Do not know why. A bad feeling suddenly arose in Onoki's heart, as if some great terror was about to come. Suddenly, Anamu felt palpitations in his heart. He quickly turned around and saw 2 people standing on a mound in the distance. One person's body was covered with bandages, with only his eyes exposed like a mummy. It's Mr. Wu. The other person was wearing a tight-fitting black combat uniform with red laminated armor on the outside. The long hair reaches the waist, and one eye is exposed, which is blood red. It is the 3 Tamo Sharingan. Uchiha Madara. Onoki was shaken all over and froze on the spot, but his heart was filled with turmoil. Madara is resurrected. Onoki whispered. The name Uchiha Madara has an extraordinary weight in Onoki's heart. It was Uchiha Madara back then who made Onoki lose himself through powerful power. Onoki's fear of Madara is deep in his bones. Now seeing Madara resurrected, Onoki's heart trembled. Alert, everyone be alert. Madara is resurrected. Anoki hurriedly flew towards the coalition forces, shouting loudly as he flew. Everyone, be on alert. Madara is resurrected. One stone stirs up 1,000 waves. Anoki's words immediately caused a huge sensation within the coalition forces, and the faces of the ninjas suddenly changed. A person's name, the shadow of a tree. Uchiha Madara. He is a character from the same period as First Hokage. When such a person appears in front of you, who can take it lightly? Among the coalition ninjas, the most shocking one is Uchiha Fugaku and a dozen other Uchiha tribesmen. Madara. It's really Madara. He was actually summoned too. It's over, it's completely over now. We can't be Madara's match. As members of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Fugaku and others truly understand the power of Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara not only possesses the eternal Mangekyō Sharingan, but also masters the third power contained in Mangekyō Sharingan Susanoo. Back then, Uchiha Madara relied on Susanoo to conquer the troubled times and was unrivaled. With such a person right in front of us, how can everyone in the Uchiha clan not be afraid? To know, the Uchiha clan betrayed Madara, and Madara held a grudge and completely broke awe. Chapter 93 Naruto. Madara, you succeeded in pleasing me. Chapter 93 Naruto. Madara, you succeeded in pleasing me. Not to mention Master Madara, Kabuto was also confused at this time. When he first discovered that Naruto had Mangekyō, Naruto's Susanoo was green. Just now in Naruto vs Second Mizukage, Susanoo was orange-red, and now it's purple. 3 Susanoo, 3 colors, 3 different forms, why is this? Kabuto was a little confused. Kid, what happened to your Mangekyō? Madara stood on Susan's head and stared at Naruto indifferently. You want to know? If you want to know, beat me and I will tell you. Naruto smiled. What an arrogant guy. Madara snorted, controlled Susanoo, waved the long sword in her hand, and slashed at Naruto. Well done. Naruto swung the flame control sword and faced him. Boom. The long swords collided, causing an earth-shattering roar. The shock wave swept across and formed a violent wind wave, flying the coalition ninjas away. Boom, boom, boom. 2 giants, 1 blue and 1 purple, collided wildly. 1 sword for you, 1 sword for me. You attack, I advance. The 2 sides refused to give in to each other, and the fight was inextricable. The 2 gradually developed a real fire. Susanoo further grew in size, and finally completely transformed into a complete body. In its full form, Susanoo is larger than a mountain, taking on the majestic posture of a warrior god. The armor on the back transforms into wings and is equipped with 2 swords, which can easily split a mountain with 1 strike. Looking at the 2 towering giants, the coalition ninjas were so frightened that they ran as far as they could. They didn't stop to catch their breath until they ran to a safe area. Some of the timid ones even collapsed on the ground. It's like a fight between gods. I feel like I shouldn't be here. Thankfully we ran fast, otherwise we wouldn't know how we died. It would be really scary. Is this the legendary power of the Uchiha clan? It's too strong. It's really too strong. Forget about Uchiha Madara, the key is Uzumaki Naruto. His use of Sharingan is actually so powerful. A foreigner actually uses the power of our Uchiha clan to this extent. Uchiha Fugaku and others looked at the 2 fighting giants with complex expressions and could not hide their shock. As members of the Uchiha tribe with pure blood, they have not even opened Mangekyō. Naruto is good, not only opened the eternal Mangekyō, but also used Susanoo to this extent. This makes everyone in Uchiha very envious, jealous, unwilling, shocked, and unbelievable. Yasaka Megatama. Madara stretched out her hand, and Susanoo launched multiple tamo, which shot towards Naruto like cannonballs. Inferno-style flame control. Naruto controls Susanoo, bends the bow and shoots an arrow, shoots out several black flame arrows, and collides with Yasaka's Magatama. Boom! The black flame arrow collided with Yasaka's Magatama, causing an earth-shattering explosion. Immediately afterwards, the 2 500 Susanoos hit each other again. I didn't expect that in this era, someone would develop Susanoo to this extent. Madara said while fighting, "I admit that I underestimate you a little. You are not an ordinary ninja. Madara-senpai is also very powerful." Boom, 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 W. The two fought from south to north, and from west to east. The earth was torn apart, the sand dunes were destroyed. The ground was trampled into large craters one after another, and the terrain completely changed. The two fought fiercely for a long time, but in the end they were evenly matched, and neither could do anything to the other. Mangekyō has a very strong characteristic. The more you use it, the stronger Mangekyō's eye power becomes. Unfortunately, ordinary Mangekyō has too many side effects. The more you use it, the more likely you are to become blind. Therefore, although the pupil power is getting stronger and stronger, it is getting closer and closer to blindness. And sooner or later, it will become blind. Eternal Mangekyō does not have this shortcoming, so the more you use it, the stronger your eye power becomes. As he continued to fight, Naruto's eye power became stronger and stronger, and his control over Susanoo became more and more proficient. The more Naruto beat, the more excited he became, and the more he beat, the more enjoyable he became. Madara is also very happy. Since Hashirama's death, he has not encountered such a strong opponent. In particular, Naruto, like him, also possesses the eternal Mangekyō and can also use Susanoo. This kind of opponent is unprecedented. Madara was also very excited. After fighting fiercely for a long time, the two finally had enough fun and stopped attacking at the same time, looking at each other from a distance. "Kid, since Hashirama's death, you are the first opponent to reach our level." Madara crossed her arms and looked at. Chapter 94, Congratulations on Getting Rinnegan. Chapter 94, Congratulations on Getting Rinnegan. Rumbled. The ground shook violently. Countless horny dragon-like trees sprouted from the ground. Rolling, surging, and galloping, it seemed to be sweeping towards Naruto like a wave. "Want to use wood style against me?" Naruto sneered, immediately removed the powerful Susanoo, and turned on the fairy fox mode. Sage art would style true several thousand hands. Naruto clapped his hands, and a giant wooden Buddha appeared out of thin air behind him, with thousands of arms behind him. The same true several thousand hands. The true several thousand hands that Naruto summoned now are bigger than a few years ago too many. Maybe it's still not as good as the peak Hashirama's true several thousand hands, but it's not much worse. Seeing wood style, the coalition ninjas were once again shocked. This time, everyone was numb, including everyone in Uchiha. Wood style. Naruto has even mastered the wood style. This is the unique blood inheritance limit of first Hokage-sama. This guy, how many cards does he have? Is he really only 16 years old? The ninjas had mixed emotions, especially everyone in Uchiha. They remember Naruto well. Back then, Naruto was just a kid who hated dogs and abandoned himself, and was always alone in the village. Everyone was walking on the road. No one bothered to look at him twice. Even if he sees it, he will show a disgusted expression. Such a big kid can be kicked to death, so he is an inconspicuous existence in everyone's eyes. But who would have thought? That kid who was looked down upon by everyone back then could actually grow to this point. The contrast is so great. True several thousand hands. Madara's pupils shrank, and she felt a huge wave of emotions in her heart. This brat has indeed mastered wood style. Madara only has eyes for one person in her life, Senju Hashirama. Madara has only paid attention to 3 kinds of blood inheritance limits in her life: wood style, eternal Mangekyō, and Rinnegan. Naruto is doing well, except that he has not shown Rinnegan, but he has mastered both the escape and eternal Mangekyō. This made Madara angry and offended at the same time. How can a brat with no hair at all control the blood inheritance limits of me and Hashirama at the same time? Why should he? At this time, Naruto controlled the Senju Buddha and launched an attack directly. Countless fists formed an airtight rain of fists, bombarding the rushing trees one after another. It turns out, true several thousand hands are the strongest wood-style ninjutsu secrets. Under the bombardment of the Senju Buddha, the tree world created by Madara collapsed, destroyed and turned into wood slag. The huge forest was completely turned into sawdust, piled up everywhere. Not even a single intact tree was left. It's amazing. It's really amazing. Kabuto looked at the scene in front of him with a look of disbelief in his eyes. Is this the power of the legendary ninja god Senju Hashirama? This is simply not something that humans can do. Kabuto thought he had mastered Ryucha Cave's Sage Mode and had shed his snake body and transformed into a dragon. But compared to the Naruto in front of him, it was nothing. This also strengthened Kabuto's idea of catching Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto, no matter what the cost, I will catch you no matter what. Kabuto's eyes became more intense. Naruto didn't know what Kabuto was thinking. He stood on top of the Buddha and looked down at Madara. Madara-senpai, how do I feel about my wood style? Madara stared at Naruto without saying a word. Her expression remained indifferent, but her heart could not calm down for a long time. After a long time, Madara said, I never expected that a ninja like you could be born in this era. Uzumaki Naruto, you really surprised me. You actually have the abilities of both me and Hashirama. Only for this, you can get my approval. I believe that given time, you will be able to catch up. No, you will definitely surpass me and Kanama. Naruto heard this and smiled. Should I be proud to be praised by Madara-senpai? Damn you little devil. Naruto's tone made Madara a little unhappy. He snorted coldly. It's a pity that you have no time to continue to grow. This era is still my era after all. Senior Madara is joking. You are already a dead person, so don't show up to cause trouble for the juniors. Naruto sighed and said, to tell you something you don't want to hear, no one in this era welcomes you. Even the Uchiha people behind me don't welcome you, so you just treat yourself as a dead person. It doesn't matter if you like it or not, I don't care about that. Madara crossed her arms and looked indifferent. As for those fallen Uchiha, do they count as Uchiha? Having said this, Madara turned on Rinnegan and said slowly, the time for Chapter 95 entering. The Week 6 Paths level Chapter 95 entering. The Week 6 Paths level. Name, Uzumaki Naruto. Occupation, Ninja. Level, Jonin. Battle Mode, Perfect Sage Mode Perfect, Kurama Mode Perfect. Chakra Attributes, Wind, Thunder, Water, Fire, Earth, Yin, Yang. Taijutsu, 8 Inner Gates, Death Gate. Blood Successor Limit. Mangekyō Sharingan Itachi, Shisui, Sasuke, Wood Style, Crystal Style, Boil Style, Lava Style, Ice Release, Rinnegan Madara. Storage Space, 1,000 cubic meters. R-T. This is Naruto's personal attributes now. It doesn't look like much has changed, only one Rinnegan has been added. But Naruto's strength increase is huge. Rinnegan's own abilities aside, the increase in Naruto's original strength alone is quite exaggerated. First is the amount of chakra. Naruto could feel that his chakra amount, not counting 9 tails, had at least doubled or even more. This increase is exaggerated. You know, Naruto integrated Xianglin's physique and practiced Sage Body. The amount of chakra itself is very large. Now it has doubled again, which is outrageous. The second is eye power. Naruto could clearly feel that his eye power had undergone earth-shaking changes, and the improvement was extremely astonishing. The biggest benefit from this increase in pupil power is 2 pairs of ordinary Mangekyō Sharingan. Naruto has 3 pairs of Mangekyō, among which Itachi and Shisui's Mangekyō are both ordinary Mangekyō. Ordinary Mangekyō cannot activate the complete Susanoo. It's okay now. Naruto was very sure that he could now activate Itachi's complete Susanoo, and this water's complete Susanoo. It can be seen how much the pupil power has improved. Plus other Rinnegan abilities, such as Shinra Tensei, Universal Pull, Planetary Devastation, Wheel Tomb, 060, Border Prison, etc. It is no exaggeration to say that these 2 wheels can completely upgrade Naruto's strength to a new level. Call it Week 6 Paths level. If we encounter Madara from the dirt again, it won't be a problem to defeat him, and it shouldn't be difficult to defeat the resurrected Madara. After breakfast, Naruto left a shadow clone. His true form secretly left Cloud Shinobi and came to a deserted place to try out Rinnegan's abilities. Shinra Tenjang. Universal Pull. Planetary Devastation. Tengai Shinsei. Wounded Tomb Border Prison. Rin Tensei, well forget it. And this black stick. Finally, try the summoning technique. There was a smirk on Naruto's lips. His Rinnegan was the Rinnegan drawn by the system. Pure Madara Rinnegan. Naruto wanted to know if he could summon Madara's Gedo statue with the Rinnegan. If possible, it would be a complete blow to the bottom of the pot, and the Fourth Ninja World War could end early. Naruto immediately tried. Summoning technique. No response. Failed. Naruto was a little disappointed and tried a few more times, but still had no response and all failed. I knew it wasn't that simple. Naruto shook his head slightly, not feeling depressed, and continued to practice Rinnegan's various abilities. About an hour later, the shadow clone left in Cloud Shinobi suddenly disappeared, and strange memories of Japan flooded into his mind. Naruto sighed softly, activated the Flying Thunder God technique, returned to Cloud Shinobi Village, and came to Reikid's office. Naruto Tien. Tsunade said with a serious look. What's wrong? Naruto asked. There are many people in Reikid's office. In addition to the two figures of Reikid and Tsunade, Minato, Kushina, Jiraiya, and Killer Bee are all there. There are also Shikaku, Mabui, Yamanaka, and others. Uchiha Madara, grandfather, second grandfather, Itachi, Nagato, the masked man, former JinchūRiki, and others suddenly appeared on the first battlefield. Jiraiya said quickly. They swept across the battlefield with a devastating force and then rushed towards Cloud Shinobi Village. They want to... Naruto was shocked. You guessed it right, the enemy's target is the headquarters. Tsunade looked grave. To be precise, it's you and Killer Bee. They are coming for you. That's true. Naruto smiled, then let them come, just in time to catch them all and end this war. Don't be careless. Lu Jiu looked solemn. Although the number of enemies is not large, they are all high-end combat power, so it is better to be careful. Good. Reikid said solemnly. One Uchiha Madara is as good as you, plus first Hokage, second Hokage, Uchiha Itachi, masked man, Nagato, former JinchūRiki. Such a terrifying force is very terrifying. Reikid is a very tough person, but he is a little pessimistic at the moment, which shows how bad the situation is. It's not his fault, the enemy is really too fierce. Madara, Hashirama, Tobirama, Itachi, Nagato, masked man, former JinchūRiki. These were once powerful figures in the ninja world. Chapter 96 Obito. Chapter 96 Obito. Madara is a very unruly person. Except for Senju Hashirama, he doesn't take anyone seriously in this world. Of course, now there's another Naruto. Apart from these two people, even Senju Tobirama and the five shadows are just chickens and dogs in Madara's eyes. Uchiha Madara, stop looking down on us. Tsunade glared at Madara. You are a dead person, so you should just go and lie down in the grave. This is no longer your time. HMPH, I can finally show off my skills. I can't wait. Madara, I will definitely defeat you. Reikid turned on the lightning-style chakra mode. Thunder and lightning filled his body and stared at Madara coldly. We can postpone the wedding, but not the war. Terumi may stared at Madara indifferently. Madara, don't look down on women, otherwise you will regret it. Fight. Gaara said calmly. The current five shadows. Madara looked indifferent, with disdain in her eyes. It seems that if I want to catch 8 tails, I have to defeat you. That's fine. After all, we are the current Wying and the lineup is okay, so I'll just play with you. As soon as she finished speaking, Madara directly turned on Susanoo, turned into a blue giant, and slashed at the five shadows. Then, Wying became miserable. Madara drove the Gundam rampage, slashing and slashing, and the five shadows couldn't resist it at all. With the help of lightning-style chakra mode, Reikid activates the physical body to an astonishing degree, with extremely exaggerated speed and strength. However, with one punch, It could barely cause some damage to Susanoo, but it could not hurt her at all. Terumi Mei's lava style can corrode Susanoo's surface, but not the inside. Gaara used quicksand to drag Madara out of Susanoo, and used the desert layer to seal Madara. But the next second, Madara drove Susanoo to split the seal and broke out again. Anoki activated Dust Escape, but was completely absorbed by Madara's Rinnegan without causing any damage. Tsunade broke Susanoo's ribs with one punch, and before he could be happy, he was struck by Susanoo's long sword. At the critical moment, Tsunade broke the sword, healed the injury with the help of ninja art, mitotic regeneration, and narrowly escaped. The people watching the battle around were a little dull. The 5 shadows and 5 people joined forces, but instead of having any impact on Madara, they were in danger. It's not the same magnitude at all. Kakashi sighed. It's time for us to take action. We can't just watch the 5 shadows being beaten by Madara. Jiraiya nodded. Boom. The 5 shadows were once again blasted away by Susanoo, returning to their previous position, staring at Madara with fear on their faces. Before 27 Naruto, you fought Madara fiercely and fought with ease. I thought Madara's strength was average. Gaara gasped and looked at Naruto. Now that we actually fight, I realize how powerful Madara is. What a monster. Tsunade, Reikage, and Terumi may had the same idea. They didn't see the fight between Naruto and Madara with their own eyes, but they only heard the news afterwards that Naruto suppressed Madara. This gave them the illusion that, although Madara was powerful, it was not because she was ridiculously powerful. Together, their 5 shadows can compete with Madara. Now, after fighting against each other, I realized how wrong I was. Sister Tsunade, you should stay and protect Killer Bee. I will deal with these people. Naruto said, looking at the 5 cages. Naruto, how can this be done? Tsunade was about to object when suddenly, dazzling white beams of light rose from Madara, Hashirama, Tobirama, and others. Under the illumination of white light, the dust on Hashirama and others dissipated, and their souls separated from their bodies. This is... Tsunade was shocked. Is Impure World Reincarnation unsolved? Anoki said excitedly, Naruto boy, is this situation like Impure World Reincarnation solved? Naruto nodded. It seems Itachi succeeded. Very good. It's solved, it's finally solved. As expected of Itachi. 5 shadows, Kakashi, Jiraiya, and others were very excited. In this Ninja World War, the main force of the enemy army, or the enemy's high-end combat power, was all Luotian Tenya. Now that the Impure World Reincarnation is unlocked, it means that these summoned masters will leave soon. There is hope for victory in the war. Finally freed. Hashirama's soul hung in the air and smiled at Tsunade and Naruto. Tsuna, Naruto, I've caused you trouble. Grandfathers. Tsunade wants to stay. Naruto said, Shadai, the war is not over yet. You go back to the Pure Land first. I will summon you later. Hashirama was indeed very concerned about this war and was unwilling to leave here. Hearing this, he couldn't help but nodded. Trouble. Naruto, hurry up. Tobirama couldn't help. Chapter 97 Naruto, where did you get the Gedo statue? Chapter 97 Naruto, where did you get the Gedo statue? Obito actually knew the reason for Lin's death, and also knew that Lin was willing to die at the hands of Kakashi in order to protect Konoha. It's not Kakashi's fault. Dan Lin's death made Obito despair, and also made Obito completely despair of this unreasonable ninja world. Therefore, Obito wants to end this world and create a beautiful and reasonable new world. This is the Uchiha clan. Second Hokage side. Because you love too deeply, once you lose love, you will easily go to extremes and eventually lose control. I have seen too many similar examples. Everyone was silent. Thinking back carefully, people of the Uchiha clan are indeed prone to extremes. Obito, I didn't abide by the agreement I made with you to protect Lin. I'm trash, I'm trash. Kakashi still persuaded Obito. But you don't have to be like this, you are the hero of the village. Kakashi, this is the world. Obito's expression was dull. In this world, You and I can't change the fate of becoming garbage. No, everyone in this world cannot escape the reincarnation of becoming garbage. Having said this, Obito formed a seal with his hands and clapped his hands. Summoning technique. Boom! White mist exploded, and a huge figure appeared behind Obito. It was Gedo's statue. This is... Everyone looked at the Gedo statue. This is the Gedo statue, and it's also the Todoroki. Naruto smiled and said, "What was left behind when the Sage of Six Paths took time off to work on Ten Tails chakra? So this is the body of Ten Tails." Everyone suddenly realized. Then 7 fluorescent chains were sprayed out from Gedo statue's mouth, shooting towards the 7-tailed beasts. The tailed beasts were dragged into the mouth of the demon without any resistance, and there was no resistance from the beginning to the end. As the seal was completed, the golem suddenly let out a wail of pain. Its eyes widened with anger, and its expression ferocious. What happened? The golem is alive. Everyone was a little scared. 10 Tails is coming back to life. Naruto explained calmly. Resurrection. Didn't they get 8 tails and 9 tails yet? How could 10 Tails be resurrected? Everyone was baffled. You don't need the complete 8 tails and 9 tails. Just the partial chakra of 8 tails and 9 tails is enough. Obito's expression was numb, and he looked at everyone indifferently, as if he was telling something that had nothing to do with him. 10 Tails is about to be resurrected, and the world is about to end. Give up your struggle, it's meaningless. Hateful. What should we do now? Everyone's scalp was numb. I don't know exactly how strong 10 Tails is. But 10 Tails swallowed 7-tailed beasts, which is absolutely beyond imagination, just in terms of the amount of chakra. 10 Tails cannot be resurrected. Tsunade shouted sternly. Once 10 Tails is fully resurrected, everything is over, you must go to it. Princess Tsunade is right. We must prevent the resurrection of 10 Tails at all costs. Anoki said in a deep voice. Everyone, let's attack together and kill it completely before it is resurrected. No. Naruto waved his hand to stop everyone. 10 Tails' vitality is extremely powerful. We alone cannot kill it. If 10 Tails were that easy to kill, Sage of Six Paths wouldn't be here now. This thing is just like Teru Yoruichi. It is immortal and can only be sealed, but cannot be killed. Everyone in one room. What should we do? Just watch it. Naruto teased slightly. Don't you want to see the legendary 10 Tails? Meet you, big-headed ghost. Everyone was speechless. Yes. We want to see the legendary 10 Tails, but we want to survive even more. Naruto, what time is it now? Don't say such sarcastic words. Kushina hit Naruto on the head. If you have a way to deal with 10 Tails, tell me now. Don't worry, I have a way to deal with 10 Tails. Naruto had a confident smile on his face. As for now, everyone just watch quietly. This is the legendary 10 Tails, the source of chakra, which may not be visible for thousands of years. Naruto, do you really have a way to deal with 10 Tails? Tsunade asked again unsurely. Yeah, Naruto, this is no joke. Everyone was also dubious. It wasn't that he didn't trust Naruto. It's a matter of great importance, and if anything goes wrong, the ninja world may fall into a bottomless abyss. No one dares to be careless. Don't worry, I know what I know, Tilda. Naruto didn't explain much and simply said, just take a look. Naruto, what kind of medicine are you selling in this gourd? Everyone looked at each other. At this point, we have no other choice but to choose to believe Naruto. That's right, Naruto does everything right. Since he said there is a way, there must be a way. I believe Naruto. Chapter 98 10 Tails JinchūRiki. Chapter 98 10 Tails JinchūRiki. Naruto controlled the Gedo statue and spit out a fluorescent chakra chain from the golem's mouth. The chakra chain instantly penetrated Minato's body, pulling out the Yin 9 Tails from Minato's body. Kid, what are you doing? Yin 9 Tails roared angrily. It stayed quietly in Minato's body, watching the show well, but ended up seeing it on his head. It was quite sudden. I will borrow my half-body from you for a while, and I will release it to you when I am done. The 9 Tails in Naruto's body immediately soothed the Yin Nine Tails. Forehead. Yin Nine Tails was startled and said half-believingly, "Half-length, are you telling the truth? Don't fool me. You are me, and I am you. If I lie to you, wouldn't I just lie to myself?" Nine Tails said angrily, "Okay, stop talking nonsense and cooperate well. I will let you out after the war is over. Half-length, you must keep your word." Yin Nine Tails still believes in Yang Nine Tails. After all, we are a human being. We can't deceive ourselves, right? Yin Nine Tails stopped resisting and allowed himself to be dragged into the Gedo statue by the chains, completing the seal. As the Nine Tails chakra was completed, Gedo's statue opened his eyes with a ferocious expression and began to recover. Naruto had a look of anticipation and excitement on his face. He had been preparing for it for so long, and the day had finally arrived. In full view. Naruto made a seal. It was the Six Paths Tao School seal. In an instant, Gedo's statue's huge body poured into Naruto's body, like a baby swallow returning to its nest. In the blink of an eye, the Gedo statue completely poured into Naruto's body and disappeared without a trace. Naruto's body also changed accordingly. The hair quietly turns white. Immortal robes appeared on the body surface. 6 black magatama appeared on the neckline, and black magatama also appeared on the cuffs, skirt, and back. 9 truth-seeking balls are automatically generated behind him, and a black Six Paths tin staff appears in his hand. This Six Paths tin staff is different from Six Paths Obito'S sun staff, and it is also different from Six Paths Madara's moon staff. It is a combination of both sides, with the sun on one end and the moon on the other, which is the same as the tin staff of Sage of Six Paths. At this moment, Naruto completed Sage transformation. The whole process was extremely smooth, without any obstacles, just like it happened naturally. Naruto felt the changes in his body. Very strong. Too strong. This is not simply an increase in strength, but also faster speed, enhanced defense, and stronger perception. But a leap in life level, the whole person seems to be completely transformed and becomes a completely different person. It is like mastering the principles of all things, being able to control all phenomena, and understanding the true meaning of the world. No wonder Obito thought it was impossible for the Ninja Alliance to defeat him after he became 10 Tails JinchūRiki. Naruto sighed inwardly. Indeed, this kind of transformation can only be understood by experiencing it personally. Naruto felt the changes in his body carefully, but everyone around him was completely stunned. 527 This is. Naruto, how did it become like this? What happened? 10 Tails JinchūRiki. Did Naruto become 10 Tails JinchūRiki? This is 10 Tails JinchūRiki. That's wrong. Naruto clearly didn't collect all 9-tailed beasts, so why did he become 10 Tails JinchūRiki? Yeah, he only got half of 9 tails. Everyone looked incredulous, shocked, confused, incomprehensible. All kinds of emotions filled everyone's hearts. Naruto has become just like Sage of Six Paths. Madara stared at Naruto. This guy actually turned into 10 Tails JinchūRiki before me. Madara's mood was extremely complicated, including envy, jealousy, shock, and a little eagerness. Madara knew very well that Naruto became 10 Tails JinchūRiki and had gained power comparable to the Sage of Six Paths. I am definitely no match for him. If you want to compete with Naruto, you must also become 10 Tails JinchūRiki and gain the same power. Otherwise, once Naruto adapts to the power, it will be difficult for him to become 10 Tails JinchūRiki. Naruto will definitely stop it. With this in mind, Madara glanced at Obito beside her and prepared to activate the spell to control Obito. Snapped. A truth-seeking ball suddenly flew over and hit Madara's hand, smashing Madara's hands into pieces and causing dust to fly. Madara looked up in shock and saw the truth-seeking ball flying towards Naruto, flying behind Naruto and levitating. Madara, you want to control Obito and let him activate the Rin Tensei technique to help you resurrect. Naruto looked at Madara with a mocking look on his face. Then you can. Chapter 99, Six Paths Narutovs 10 Tails. Chapter 99, Six Paths Narutovs 10 Tails. Madara has always believed that Black Zetsu is the incarnation of her will, and she firmly believes in this. Because Black Zetsu has obeyed Madara's words since he was created, and has never violated Madara's will. Over time, Madara has completely regarded Black Zetsu as the embodiment of her own will. You are the kind of person who won't shed tears until he sees the coffin. Naruto was too lazy to talk to Madara and turned to look at Black Zetsu. Old dutiful son, you can fool Madara, but you can't fool me. I know all your secrets, all your plans, all the things you have done for thousands of years. Tell you, as long as I am here, you will never succeed. No, you have no chance. Naruto looked at Black Zetsu with a smile. Today, I will kill you completely and make you disappear forever. The drama, Black Zetsu saves her mother, that you directed can officially come to an end. Black Zetsu is in complete despair. It has lived for thousands of years and experienced various setbacks. Forbearance, perseverance. The city is quite deep. The will cannot be said to be weak. But Black Zetsu has never been more desperate. Too suddenly. It was really too sudden. Black Zetsu couldn't even figure out why he was exposed. All this time, it has been hiding behind the scenes, planning and acting secretly, and has never been exposed to the public. Therefore, no one has ever known its true identity, nor its secrets, nor its plans. But at this moment, all its secrets and all its plans were revealed by Naruto. Black Zetsu was exposed to the sun for the first time, and its secrets were revealed openly for the first time. Black Zetsu knew that he was completely out of luck. It has no combat effectiveness, and its defense is ridiculously weak. Where is Naruto? It has been transformed into Six Paths and has a power close to that of Sage of Six Paths. Naruto can crush it with one finger. Even though it was Black Zetsu's castle, his mentality was completely broken. It became hysterical. Why do you know all this? Why on earth? After thousands of years of planning and planning countless times, Black Zetsu has never been so close to success. Rinnegan already has it. 10 Tails is also resurrected. Next, as long as Infinite Tsukuyomi is activated, it will be done, and Mother Kaguya will be completely resurrected. But Black Zetsu never expected that he would fall in the last step and lose the key point inexplicably. Black Zetsu is very dissatisfied. Black Zetsu's words are equivalent to admitting his identity. The expressions of everyone present suddenly changed, and they all looked at Black Zetsu. Madara, in particular, looked like she had seen a ghost. Black Zetsu, what are you talking about? Madara asked loudly, is everything Naruto just said true? Obito also came back to his senses and looked at Black Zetsu in shock. Black Zetsu? Is he really the culprit who dominates everything? Hey, Madara. Black Zetsu looked at Madara with a mocking expression. Naruto is right. You are indeed my pawn. You have been played by me all the time. The stone tablet left by Yui was indeed made by me. The infinite Tsukuyomi, who resurrected my mother, was changed by me into a way to save Uchiha. You, the Uchiha clan, didn't know anything about this, and your cooperation was excellent. For thousands of years, I have approached the reincarnations of Indra and Ashura again and again, trying to inspire the Rinnegan. But it failed again and again. It took me thousands of years just to execute these steps. It wasn't until the reincarnations became Madara Yu and Hashirama that I was finally convinced that you had the ability to do it. In fact, you did a great job and successfully opened Rinnegan. After that, I deliberately disguised myself as your will, manipulated Obito, and started the plan to recover the tailed beasts. I also prompted the Akatsuki to establish and lead them towards war. In order to enhance my combat effectiveness, I also deliberately let Kabuto discover your body because Obito provided help. Hey, Madara. You have always been a pawn in my hand. If it weren't for Naruto, you would have been kept in the dark until your death. Listening to Black Zetsu's narration, everyone's scalps were numb, and a chill ran through their bones. In order to resurrect Kaguya, Indra and Ashura were encouraged to reincarnate again and again for thousands of years. For this reason, he even did not hesitate to start a war, manipulate ninjas, and put the entire ninja world into dire straits. What a sinister, sinister wolf. But with such a sinister person hiding next to them, who wouldn't be frightened? Who wouldn't be chilled? Black Zetsu. Madara's mentality collapsed. He stared at Black Zetsu, his voice radiating coldness to the bone. So, Chapter 100 Resurrection of Minato and Kushina. Chapter 100 Resurrection of Minato and Kushina. JinchūRiki will die if he loses his tailed beast. But not Naruto. Since he is 10 tails JinchūRiki, losing 9 tails now will not threaten his life. Naruto released 9 tails. Kurama. The tailed beasts immediately looked towards 9 tails. 9 tails. Everyone also looked at 9 tails. It was the first time for many of them to see the true face of 9 tails. Hey. Kurama bared his teeth, looked at the tailed beasts and mocked. You were in such a mess before, being beaten by a human and unable to fight back. It's such an embarrassment to us tailed beasts. Smelly Fox stopped talking sarcastically. Shukaku was unhappy and said directly, "Where were you when we were bullied? Aren't you hiding inside JinchūRiki? If you come out, you'll be no better than us." Kurama, you were so scared from the beginning to the end that you didn't dare to come out, so you still have the nerve to mock us. Four Tails' son Wukong hummed, but then again, your JinchūRiki does have some skills. Four Tails looked at Naruto. He feels exactly the same to me now as the old man did back then. Of course. Kurama looked proud, but said something shocking. Naruto is the reincarnation of the old man. Forehead. Is he the reincarnation of the old man? Kurama, are you kidding me? The tailed beasts were all surprised, and everyone present felt incredible and couldn't help but look at Naruto. It's a long story. I'll explain it to you in detail when I have time. Kurama is an arrogant person and is unwilling to say too many words. In short, Naruto is different from other humans. He truly treats us tailed beasts as friends. So, you can believe what he says. Kurama, are you serious? The tailed beasts were all a little excited. How dare you question me? Nine Tails shouted with an unhappy look on his face. When did I, Kurama, lie to you? 2. 520. Smelly Fox, although you are arrogant and have a bad temper, your words are still trustworthy. Smelly Tanuki, do you want to fight? Smelly Fox, do you think I'm afraid of you? Okay, Kurama and Shukaku, stop arguing. Don't let humans see the joke. Seeing that 9 Tails and 1 Tail were fighting again, Erway quickly smoothed things over and spoke out to dissuade them. Only then did 9 Tails and 1 Tail stop. The second Tail looked at Naruto and asked softly, Naruto, what are you going to do with us? The other tailed beasts looked at Naruto. Naruto is now 10 Tails JinchūRiki, and has gained a calendar area comparable to that of Sage of Six Paths. How to deal with them depends entirely on Naruto's will. After this war, I believe that major ninja villages will generally not break out of war easily. Naruto looked at the 5 shadows and smiled. Even if a conflict breaks out, the tailed beasts cannot be used. So you are free and can go wherever you want. I will strictly prohibit humans from disturbing you. You can live where you like with peace of mind. Accordingly, you cannot harm humans or attack humans at will. Of course, if someone covets your power, you have the right to self-defense. Having said this, Naruto looked at Tsunade and the other 5 cages and asked with a smile, "Is it okay?" The 5 shadows looked at each other and agreed. First, Hokage-sama distributed the tailed beasts back, then in order to balance the strength of each village, so as not to start the war easily. Anoki sighed, but the result is that the tailed beasts' participation in the war caused even greater casualties. If we can do what Naruto said, and ban tailed beasts from participating in wars in the future, I completely agree. Hashirama sighed. This was indeed his original intention, but the result was not as expected. Through this war, our 5 major ninja villages have reached a preliminary reconciliation and established a certain degree of friendship. Gaara said, if a conflict breaks out in the future, I believe everyone can sit down and negotiate. Solve problems and eliminate conflicts through consultation, rather than resorting to violent means. Reikage, Tsunade, and Terumi may also agree. The war has brought nothing to this world, except leaving a pile of chicken feathers. The Fourth Ninja War proved that many problems can be solved through negotiation. Especially after this war, the major ninja villages worked together and established a deep bond with each other. This lays a good foundation for peace. After receiving the confirmation from the Five Shadows, the tailed beasts were extremely excited. Very good. I'm finally free now. Uzumaki Naruto, thank you. I want to go back to Shuliandang. I decided to live in seclusion in the forest. Can we finally return to our hometown? It's so dreamy, it feels like a dream. The tailed beasts were very happy and confided their why. Chapter 101, Complete 9 Tails. Complete 10 Tails. Chapter 101, Complete 9 Tails. Complete 10 Tails. With the deaths of Madara and Obito, the Fourth Ninja War came to a successful conclusion. Of course, although the war is over, it still leaves behind a lot of post-war problems. The death and injury of ninjas, the disposal of corpses, the compensation of the deceased. There are a lot of problems that need to be solved. Of course, these pigs have nothing to do with Naruto. He only has 2 problems to solve now. First, Gedo statue. Although the tailed beasts have been extracted, the Gedo statue, the body of 10 tails, is still there. How should we deal with this thing? Naruto was a little confused. Gedo statue is the body of 10 tails, which can also be regarded as the body of Otsutsuki Kaguya. As long as the Gedo statue is solved, Kaguya will never be able to be resurrected, and it can be solved once and for all. But with Naruto's current strength, he cannot completely destroy the Gedo statue, so he can only seal it. In addition, there is a way to solve the Gedo statue. That is to let 10 tails eat the Gedo statue. 10 tails and Gedo statue are essentially the same thing, and you can eat Gedo statue completely. And eating the Gedo statue, Naruto's 10 tails will definitely become more powerful. But Naruto was worried. What if the Gedo statue contains Kaguya's consciousness and 10 tails eats the Gedo statue? Will it be contaminated by Kaguya? Let's wait a little longer. Wait for me to check inside and outside one by one, and then let Tiano eat it after confirming that it is correct. In short, Gedo statue must be dealt with. Second, resurrect the dead. Before the war, many impure world reincarnationists were promised that as long as they contributed to the war, they would be resurrected for free. Naruto means what he says and does what he says. However, there is no need to worry about this. The war has just ended, and everything can be done after returning to the village. One day later, the Ninja Coalition forces returned to Cloud Shinobi one after another. In the top battle, the Coalition forces suffered no casualties. But on local battlefields, countless ninjas still died. The Coalition forces trained in Cloud Shinobi Village for 2 days, and the 4 major ninja villages left Cloud Shinobi and returned to their own villages. 2 days later, the Konoha Shinobi finally returned to Konoha. Finally back. When I left the village, I never thought I would come back alive. I never thought I would lose my life. Thank God I'm finally back. I need to have a good sleep and then take a shower. I haven't taken a shower for several days and my body stinks. How hot is it? The large troops arrived at the entrance of the village, and the villagers had been waiting for a long time. They held banners and flowers and gave them a warm welcome. Welcome home. Welcome back, Guy. Hokage-sama, welcome back 27. The ninjas who went out to fight were warmly welcomed by the villagers, and the outside of Quay village became a sea of joy. The welcome ceremony lasted for more than an hour before it came to an end, and the ninjas dispersed and went home. Naruto's family also returned to their home in the forest outside the village. Also accompanying him were Jiraiya, Kakashi, Konan, Yahiko, Xianglin, Mizu, and Jugo. The war is finally over. Jiraiya stretched out his arms with a relaxed smile on his face. You can travel and collect materials with peace of mind. Pervy Sage, I advise you not to do that. Naruto smiled and teased. Tsunade's sister will tear you apart. Well, don't doubt her strength. Jiraiya's face froze, and then he remembered that he was no longer single, but a family man. Oh, what a troublesome thing. Jiraiya said depressedly, Naruto, it's all your fault. If it weren't for your instigation, I would still be a single noble now. Even though he said this, Jiraiya looked triumphant, clearly showing that he was getting an advantage and was still acting like a good boy. Roll. Naruto waved his hand and threw Jiraiya out. Haha, you deserve it. The crowd roared with laughter, smiling and chatting. Finally, Konan and Yahiko bid farewell. Are you going back to Rain Shinobi Village? Naruto frowned. Konan nodded. The war is over, but Rain Shinobi Village is still in chaos, and the village needs us. Go back if you want. Naruto agreed. I heard from Sister Tsunade that the 5 major ninja villages are preparing to establish a new ninja alliance to jointly maintain peace in the ninja world. You Rain Shinobi Village can also join. The previous alliance was just a temporary alliance formed by the 5 major ninja villages in order to cope with the 4th Ninja War. The new ninja alliance means that the 5 major ninja villages are completely aligned to form a closer whole. Cooperation and exchanges can be. Chapter 102 Complete Yin-Yang Escape. Transform Namikaze Minato. Chapter 102 Complete Yin-Yang Escape. Transform Namikaze Minato. Rinnegan, Sage of 6 Paths Body, Complete 6 Paths Magic, Huge 10 Tails Chakra. Add the incomplete Yin-Yang Escape. With my current strength, I can't beat 6 Paths Obito, 6 Paths Madara, and 6 Paths Nazuo. 3-eyed Madara is hard to say. After absorbing the sacred tree, this guy gained the power of Kaguya and started the Reincarnation Sharingan. Reincarnation Sharingan has 2 abilities, Infinite Tsukuyomi and Amano Anaka, both of which are difficult to deal with. As for the peak Sage of 6 Paths, it's hard to say. Sage of 6 Paths has mastered the complete Yin-Yang Escape, but my Yin-Yang Escape is incomplete. At least I can't do it like 6 Paths Naruto did to Kakashi's eyes. As for Kaguya, don't think about it for the time being. I'm sure I can't beat that old lady. After half a month of continuous practice, Naruto has completely mastered his current power. He also has a clear understanding of his own strength. There is no problem in trying to defeat the current ninja world, but it is nothing more than ŌTsutsuki Kaguya. Naruto was not in a hurry. It was almost impossible for ŌTsutsuki Kaguya to be resurrected now. Her Gedo statue fell into Naruto's hands. Jingle bell. Naruto woke up to the alarm clock. System lottery. Ding, won the lottery. The lottery was successful. Congratulations to host for winning Complete Yin-Yang Escape. Complete Yin-Yang Escape. Naruto fell asleep instantly. After becoming 10 Tails JinchūRiki, Naruto automatically mastered Yin-Yang done, but it was incomplete Yin-Yang done. Here comes the question. What exactly is Yin-Yang done? Yin escape represents spiritual power, which can create forms from the invisible. Yang done represents the power of the body and can inject life into the body. The combination of the two is Yin-Yang escape. This is the 6 Paths secret technique that can create something out of nothing and give it life. It is the ultimate ninjutsu that even Kaguya has not mastered. The complete Yin-Yang escape represents the god of creation. Just like Naruto in the original work, his first words after resurrection, I feel I can change everything. This is not bragging, this is true. After receiving the skills from Sage of 6 Paths, Naruto can indeed fully unleash the power of Yin-Yang escape. This is something 6 Paths Obito, 6 Paths Madara, and even ŌTsutsuki Kaguya can't do. Their Yin-Yang release is incomplete. It was the same before Naruto. Yin-Yang done was also incomplete. But now, complete. I feel like I can really change things now. Naruto looked at his hands and couldn't help but murmured. This is a very mysterious feeling that cannot be described in words, but it can be done. It's like it's engraved in your bones and you're born with it. This is the true technique of creating all things. Naruto was excited and couldn't wait to try it. Kurama, I have just mastered the complete Yin-Yang escape technique. Do you want to try it? Yin-Yang escape. 9 Tails, who was sleeping, opened his sleepy eyes and said drowsily, "Just give it a try." Naruto pulled 9 Tails out of his body. With a slight tap of 6 Paths' tin staff, Ninetales' huge body quickly shrank, quickly shrinking to the height of a person. In Naruto's mind, he imagined the cat-eared girl he had seen in his previous life, and the Six Paths tin staff was a bit more. Ninetales immediately began to change from the inside out. Its hair disappeared, its back straightened, and its claws turned into hands. Quietly, Ninetales transformed from a fiery red fox into a delicate, cat-eared girl. Soft and cute, with a delicate body. She has fluffy fox ears and tail, a cute and playful face, a slender waist, and a slim figure. One look at it makes people want to hold it in their arms, knead it, and ravage it. Not bad. Naruto looked left and right, up and down, and was very satisfied with his face-shaping skills. What's good? Ninetales was now completely awake. It stretched and yawned. It was so cute. What happened? How did I become like this? Ninetales looked at his hands in shock, then at his legs, then at the 2 lumps of flesh on his chest. Ninetales was angry. Six Paths old man, you crooked old man, how did you turn me into this? Ninetales is crazy. Although their tailed beasts have no gender distinction, Ninetales has always positioned themselves as male foxes. Powerful, strong, burly, heroic, and powerful are the 3 things that fit its 3 views. What the hell is a cat-eared girl? You're such a bad old man. Ninetales shouted, how can I go out and meet people like this? Change me back quickly. Isn't this good? I think it's cute. Naruto chuckled and said, those second-time veterans will definitely love you. Chapter 103, Double Kamui Mangekyō. Perfect Sage Body 8 Inner Gates. Chapter 103, Double Kamui Mangekyō. Perfect Sage Body 8 Inner Gates. Naruto and Minato came to the Hokage office together. The Hokage office is overcrowded today. First up are the 5 Hokages, followed by Jiraiya, Sakumo, Uchiha Kagami, Akimichi Fugaku, Uchiha Fugaku, and other high places in Konoha. Finally, there are Kakashi, Asuma, Gaihong, Anko, Uchiha Shisui, and other Jonin. There were more than 100 people present, all of whom were current masters of Konoha. It could be said that there were a lot of talents and strong men gathered together. This is unprecedented. After the meeting began, Tsunade gave a brief speech and announced his formal retirement, relieving the Hokage of its burden. Minato then spoke and announced that he would remanage the village as the 4th Hokage. Everyone applauded because some people objected. There is no reason to object. Minato itself is Hokage. When 5th generation is unwilling to continue to serve as Hokage, Minato has no problem remanaging the village. Since I am the Hokage, there is no complicated succession ceremony. Today's meeting can be regarded as a succession ceremony. After the meeting, Naruto, 1st generation, and others left the Hokage office together, and there was nothing else for them to do next. When everyone was leaving together, Hashirama walked up to Naruto and said, Naruto, I want to ask you a favor. Should I please say? Naruto smiled and looked at Hashirama. I want to break through to a higher realm, but I don't have Indra Chakra. I want you to help me get some. Hashirama rubbed the back of his head and said a little embarrassed. It is really unreasonable for me, as an elder, to ask a junior for help. However, after the 4th Ninja War, Hashirama has clearly defined his next training goals. That is to fuse the Indra Chakra, lead to the 6 Paths Chakra, and practice the Sage of 6 Paths body. But Madara died, and Hashirama couldn't find Indra Chakra for a while, so he could only ask Naruto. This is easy. Naruto turned his hand, and a box appeared in his palm. What's this? Hashirama wondered. Tobirama, Tsunade, Jiraiya, and others who were traveling with him also looked at the box in Naruto's hand in confusion. This is Madara's Rinnegan. Naruto smiled and said, after Obito died, I took off the Rinnegan from his left eye. Of course, this was originally Madara's Rinnegan. It's okay to leave it here. It's better to transplant it to Shodai. Obito is dead. The Rinnegan, left eye, naturally fell into Naruto's hands. Naruto had been thinking about what to do with this thing. Destroy it and cherish it. This is Rinnegan after all. Madara spent half her life working on these eyes, and only reluctantly opened them in her later years. It would be a waste if he kept it. Since Hashirama asked about it today, Naruto thought about it and simply gave it to Hashirama. Looking at the entire ninja world, Hashirama is undoubtedly the most suitable person to transplant Rinnegan. His sage body has become a big success and can fully afford Rinnegan, a big consumer of food. Others can't do it. Even Hashirama can use Rinnegan's own power of 6 paths to transform the Ashura chakra in the body into 6 paths chakra, thereby practicing Sage of 6 Paths body. This is very possible, although it will take a long time. Madara's Rinnegan. Everyone looked at Naruto's eyes, all showing envy. The turmoil in the ninja world in recent decades can almost be said to have been caused by this pair of Rinnegan. The power of these eyes is extraordinary. No ninja would not covet such power. Madara's eyes. Hashirama looked complicated and nodded silently. Since it is Madara's eyes, I am willing to transplant them. He and Madara are good friends. Although they have fought for a lifetime, they are also rare confidants. Fusion of Madara's eyes and living on his behalf can be regarded as a kind of comfort to Madara's spirit in heaven. Naruto nodded, waved his hand to erase the first generation's left eye, and transplanted the upper Rinnegan onto his waist. Hashirama took a moment to adapt and soon became completely accustomed to Rinnegan. He couldn't help but take a breath of air. Such a strong eye power, is this the Rinnegan? It's a pity there's only one. Naruto felt a little regretful. The other Rinnegan is in Obito'S hands, and he hid it somewhere. One eye is enough. Hashirama waved his hand quickly. I feel like this Rinnegan will increase my strength a lot. As long as you're satisfied. Naruto smiled and said nothing more. Naruto, my strength is a bit weak now. Can you help me improve it? Jiraiya said suddenly. You. Naruto looked at Jiraiya and said angrily, don't think about useless things. Practice sage mode first. Jiraiya's face fell. Come to my house tonight. Naruto mentally. Chapter 104, Blue Rinnegan and Tenseigan. Chapter 104, Blue Rinnegan and Tenseigan. I just got a double Mangekyō Sharingan, which is also a half-perfect sage body and half-Indra body. Kakashi also wants to know how strong he is now. Shiwa. Kakashi turns on Mangekyō, and a flaming light blue chakra rises from his body. Chakra condensed into bones, meridians, and flesh and blood, forming a light blue giant with only the upper body. Susanoo phase 2. Naruto observed Kakashi's facial expression and found that he did not show too much pain. Obviously, the huge vitality contained in the perfect sage body completely offsets the side effects of Mangekyō. This is the power of sage body. Kakashi, be careful. Guy's whole body erupted with blue steam, like an awakened blue beast, disappearing in an instant. Shiwa. The next moment, Guy suddenly appeared in front of Kakashi, his whole body spinning at high speed, and his right leg whipped out like a whip. Leaf Great Whirlwind. Boom. The strong and heavy whip leg hit Susanoo hard. There was a click, and the ribs on Susanoo's chest shattered, and a large piece collapsed instantly. Jiraiya changed color slightly. What a heavy attack, it actually shattered Susanoo with one blow. The attack power is really impressive. Swish, swish, swish. Then it became Guy's time to perform alone. He is like a ghost, sometimes on the left, sometimes on the right, sometimes above his head, sometimes behind him. It's almost an afterimage. Even with Mangekyō Sharingan, Kakashi couldn't keep up with Guy's speed and was completely reduced to a sandbag. Leaf Great Whirlwind. Leaf Strong Whirlwind. Konoha Baduwasho. Guy's attacks were like a violent storm, pouring out on Susanoo like crazy, beating Susanoo to pieces. But even though Susan was broken and defeated time and time again, Kakashi was always able to repair it immediately. And with continuous repairs, his Susanoo became more and more condensed and bigger. This is the body of Indra at work. Indra Chakra continuously pours into the brain, making Mangekyō's pupil power stronger and stronger. Plus Sage Body eliminates side effects, Kakashi doesn't feel much pain. So even though it looked quite miserable, being pressed down and beaten by Guy, Kakashi performed with ease. The battle between the two lasted for more than 10 minutes before it came to an end after Guy's physical strength faded. It's amazing. Guy, who opened the 7th gate, did not become weak and sore all over like before. He was just panting violently, looking like he was very tired, but his body was not damaged much. Moreover, this fatigue completely recovered after 10 minutes of rest. Guy, how do you feel? Jiraiya asked with a smile. Feels so good. Guy grinned, revealing his shining front teeth. My current body, whether it is the amount of chakra, physical strength, or recovery power, is very exaggerated. Guy was very excited. I clearly opened the 7th gate of the 8 inner gates, but I didn't feel many side effects. And after such a period of recovery, I feel that the damage to my body has completely recovered. This is the perfect sage body. Naruto said. Its huge vitality and recovery power have weakened the side effects of 8 inner gates to a great extent. 8 inner gates has very serious side effects on the body and can easily cause irreversible damage. Just like Zio Li during the Chunin exam. The damage caused by the 7th gate is even more exaggerated. If you are not careful, you will become disabled. Therefore, the 7th gate is Guy's strongest means before going all out. It is rarely used unless it is a last resort. From now on, Teacher Guy can completely use 8 inner gates and 7th gate as a regular method. Naruto smiled. You don't have to worry about body soreness, muscle tears, and other side effects after use. Guy nodded repeatedly. I think so too, the side effects have indeed been greatly reduced. Haha, when I think about using the 7th gate as a regular attack method in the future, my youth can't help but explode. The few people chatted for a while, and Guy, Kakashi, and Jiraiya left happily. Naruto continued to examine Hinata's body, looking for the ŌTsutsuki clan chakra hidden in her body. Found it. Tisk, this is the chakra of the ŌTsutsuki clan. It is very similar to the chakra of Tao. In the following time, peace returned to Konoha, and Naruto's life became relaxed and comfortable. He helped Hinata find the chakra of the ŌTsutsuki clan, and then used this chakra as a model to convert other chakras in Hinata's body, transformed into chakra of the ŌTsutsuki clan. As a result of this operation, Hinata's eye roll began. Fetal movement. Yes, fetal movement. This was undoubtedly a sign of the opening of Tenseigan, and Naruto told Hinata to continue condensing the ŌTsutsuki chakra. As time goes by, Hinata H. Chapter 105, Omakron Sutsuki Toneri. Chapter 105, Omakron Sutsuki Toneri. Euros. What to see? Hayashi looked puzzled and couldn't help but look at Hinata. Minato, Kushina, Hizashi, Neji. Hinata's mother also looked at Hinata at the same time. They were stunned. Hinata's eyes underwent a surprising change. They were no longer white eyes, but strange blue eyes. The center of the pupil is black, like a small black hole, surrounded by bright and dazzling white light. The white light is surrounded by brilliant blue. This is this. Hayashi looked at Hinata's eyes in shock. What's going on? Why did Hinata's eyes become like this? Hinata's eyes. Minato and Kushina looked at each other, and Hizashi and Neji, the father and son, couldn't help but look at each other. People of the Hyuga clan have white eyes from birth to death. The difference is that some tribesmen can activate the ability of white eyes, while some tribesmen's white eyes are just decoration. But no matter what the situation is, the eyes will always be white eyes, and this will not change. As the eldest daughter of the clan, Hinata has the purest Hyuga bloodline and also inherited the purest Byakugan bloodline. Her eyes have never changed since she was a child. Why did she suddenly change like this now? Hinata, what's going on with your eyes? Hyuga Hayashi's face changed drastically, and he asked anxiously. Father, don't be nervous. My Byakugan has evolved, it's Tenseigan, Hinata said hurriedly. Evolved? Tenseigan. Everyone was confused. Hyuga Hayashi frowned and asked in confusion. The Byakugan can also evolve. Why have you never heard of it? It's normal if you haven't heard of it. Naruto smiled and said, Tenseigan is the eye of Ōtsutsukī Hamura, and it is also the ultimate form of Byakugan. Correct. Otsutsuki Hamura is the younger brother of Sage of Six Paths and the ancestor of your Hyuga clan. Naruto doesn't know whether Hamura's eyes are Tenseigan, but Tenseigan is indeed the ultimate form of Byakugan. Hyuga Hayashi, 830, was a little confused. Naruto's words contained a lot of information, which he had never heard before. Hisashi is the ancestor of our Hyuga clan Otsutsuki Hamura. Hayashi couldn't help but ask his brother. This I don't know either. Hisashi also looked confused. He only knew that the Hyuga family was very ancient, a large family that had lasted for thousands of years. As for who the real ancestor is, it has long been impossible to find out. Otsutsuki Hamura. Never heard of it. No, I've heard it before. Naruto said before that Hamura sealed his mother Kaguya with the Sage of Six Paths. But that's all. Hisashi doesn't know whether Hamura is the ancestor of the Hyuga clan. Naruto, what on earth is going on? Hayashi couldn't help but ask. Naruto shook his head and briefly introduced Hamura and the origins of the Hyuga clan. These are not important. Naruto continued. The important thing is that Tenseigan is the ultimate form of Byakugan, and it is the supreme pupil technique comparable to Rinnegan. This is enough. As good as a Rinnegan. Everyone gasped. Everyone knows how strong Rinnegan is. Pain, Obito, and Madara turned the ninja world upside down with their pair of Rinnegan. Tenseigan is actually comparable to Rinnegan. How strong is Tenseigan? Hayashi was shocked and became excited again. He stared at his eldest daughter with burning eyes and said excitedly, Hinata's eyes are Tenseigan. What abilities does Hinata and Tenseigan have? Tell me quickly. The others stared at Hinata with good intentions in their eyes. Being stared at by everyone, Hinata was a little shy. I started Tenseigan not long ago, and I don't know much about it. But Hinata changed the subject, and a black high-density chakra sphere slowly emerged from her heart. Truth-seeking ball. Everyone exclaimed. After the Fourth Ninja War, the name of Truth-seeking ball became known to everyone. Naruto, who became 10 Tails JinchūRiki, has 9 truth-seeking balls suspended behind his back, which is very impressive. Everyone also knows the power of truth-seeking ball. Contains all the chakra properties of Yin-Yang and 5 elements, and has the power to transcend the limits of blood inheritance and subsequent elimination. It can even create the truth-seeking ball. This Tenseigan is indeed comparable to the Rinnegan. Minato couldn't help but exclaimed in amazement and said with a smile, Chief Hayashi, I didn't expect that your Hyuga's Byakugan could evolve into ultimate and transform into such a powerful blood successor. Hyuga Hayashi was surprised and happy. He waved his hands quickly when he heard this. Hokage-sama is ridiculous. To be honest, before today, I didn't even know that such a thing existed. Having said this, Hayashi couldn't help but look at Naruto, with unconcealable desire in his eyes. Naruto, what method did you use to make Hinata's Bai? Chapter 106, Kaguya'S Consciousness Chapter 106, Kaguya'S Consciousness. Naruto reached out and grabbed Hanabi out of thin air, then grabbed Hanabi's head. Instead of the imagined scene of brains bursting and blood splattering, parts were scattered all over the floor. Is this a puppet? How so? Hinata was stunned. Everyone present was also stunned. I'm just telling you, why would a boastful person turn on the Tenseigan for no reason? It turns out that Hanabi has been captured a long time ago. Naruto took a deep breath. What a great trick. He actually captured Hanabi under my nose, but I didn't know it at all. Naruto, what's going on? Where's Hanabi? Hinata asked anxiously. Hyuga Hayashi is also extremely anxious. If nothing else, she should be on the moon. Naruto looked up at the sky and looked at the blurry moon on the horizon. Hinata, I have to go to the moon. Moon? A look of astonishment appeared on Hinata's face. How could Hanabi be on the moon? Is this possible? It's important to save people. Naruto waved his hands and said nothing more. When I come back, I will explain it to you slowly. I will go with you. Hinata immediately pleaded. I am coming too. Take me one. Naruto, I want to go too. Everyone spoke up and wanted to follow him to the moon to help rescue Hanabi and meet Otsutsuki at the same time. Fine. Naruto thought for a while and agreed. Otsutsuki Toneri was only a bear commander and could not use so many people. But since everyone wanted to go, Naruto didn't want to spoil everyone's good intentions, so he just went to see it together. Yomi Hiruzen. Naruto's eyes narrowed, and a black hole slowly appeared in front of his eyes, which was the space portal. Everyone come in. Good. Everyone looked at the dark hole in surprise, but said nothing and flew into the portal. When everyone entered the portal, Naruto was the last one to follow. The scene in front of him changed, and he appeared in a strange place. It was dark all around. There is a dark night sky in the sky, thick dust underfoot, and stones scattered all over the ground. At a glance, there are impact craters and craters everywhere. The body is light and the gravity is obviously much smaller. This is Moon 27. Oh my god, I went from Konoha to the moon in the blink of an eye. It's incredible. It is indeed a time and space ninjutsu. Everyone looked at the unfamiliar environment around them, their eyes filled with wonder and a look of wonder. The moon is hundreds of thousands of kilometers away from the ninja world. It is incredible to cover such a long distance in the blink of an eye. Naruto, where is Hanabi? Compared with the shock in everyone's hearts, Hinata was more concerned about Hanabi and couldn't help but ask. Don't worry, we have found her. Naruto signaled Hinata not to be nervous. His perception spread out and could easily cover the entire moon. Whether it is the surface of the moon or the interior of the moon, there is nothing to hide, and the feedback is clear to Poseidon. The interior of the moon is completely empty. There is land, rivers, forests, villages, castles, and various relics left by humans. It's a pity it's all abandoned. The descendants of Otsutsuki Hamura on the moon have died out, leaving only the single seedling of Toneri. Of course, there are also a surprising number of puppets. Naruto launched Huenquin Hurazaka and led everyone to the inside of the moon. Here it is. Everyone looked around. This is the inside of the moon. Naruto looked around and explained simply. After the Sage of Six Paths brothers sealed Kaguya, in order to protect Kaguya, his younger brother Hamura moved his family to the moon. After Hamura's death, his descendants were divided into two groups because they had different understandings and interpretations of their ancestors' last words. Among them, the branch house believed that the world created by Sage of Six Paths, which had been at war for thousands of years, was a failure and should be eliminated, so they used Tenseigan to kill all the clan members who advocated peace at that time. The guy just now is called Otsutsuki Toneri. He is a descendant of the branch house and lives here alone. So that's what happened. So, he is the only descendant of Hamura on the moon. No wonder they want to capture Hinata. I didn't expect that a descendant of Hamura would end up like this. It seems that no matter where you are, there is always a fight. After hearing Naruto's explanation, everyone was suddenly enlightened and felt a little mixed in their hearts. Otsutsuki Hamura is the younger brother of Sage of Six Paths, and once worked with Sage of Six Paths to seal Kaguya. The descendants of such a magical personage who stayed on the moon have developed to the point where they are about to become extinct. It's really sad. The evil descendants of Chapter 107, Rinne-Sharingan. The second pillar is coming. Chapter 107, Rinne-Sharingan. The second pillar is coming. After entering the Six Paths level, Naruto's life level has reached another level. That is a height beyond mortals, beyond life and death. Can monitor the entire ninja world, can see the Pure Land world where people go after death, and can also recall the dead from the Pure Land. In Naruto's vision, Otsutsuki Kaguya's consciousness is divided into three components. Part 1 on Black Zetsu. Or, Black Zetsu itself is the product of Kaguya's use of yin and yang escape to materialize Lu's own will. It can be said that Black Zetsu is part of Kaguya's consciousness. That's why for thousands of years, he has worked hard, worked tirelessly, and tried every possible means to resurrect Kaguya. Because resurrecting Kaguya means resurrecting it to remember itself. The second part, hidden in 10 Tails. Ten Tails and Kaguya are one and the same, and Ten Tails certainly retains part of Kaguya's consciousness. When Ten Tails was divided by the Sage of Six Paths, this part of Kaguya's consciousness was scattered in the Gedo statue and the nine-headed tailed beast. So when Ten Tails was resurrected in the original work, this part of Kaguya's consciousness had actually awakened. Later, Ten Tails turned into a sacred tree, and after the sacred tree was cut down by Naruto, the voice that echoed in Madara's mind in Six Paths was Kaguya's voice, and she was seducing Madara to absorb the sacred tree. Part 3, Sealed on the Moon. This part of consciousness is Kaguya's main will, which was sealed in the moon by Hagoromo and Hamura using the planetary devastation. For thousands of years, the subjective consciousness has been sealed in the moon and has never left. But just now, it escaped. The short-lived breath that Naruto just sensed was Kaguya's main consciousness. ŌTsutsuki Toneri cut the moon in half with a sword, and the seal was broken. Kaguya's consciousness took the opportunity to escape. What a troublesome thing. Naruto shook his head and followed into the portal. Kaguya's main consciousness escaped. Although Naruto had a headache, he didn't take it to heart. If Kaguya wants to be truly resurrected and return to his peak, he must gather all three parts of his consciousness. Then activate Infinite Tsukuyomi to take back all the chakra scattered in the ninja world. But this is destined to be a luxury. Her body, Gedo statue, and Nine Tails are all in Naruto's hands, and she can't even resurrect Tao. If you can't resurrect Ten Tails, you can never truly resurrect. Activating Infinite Tsukuyomi and recovering scattered chakra is even more nonsense. All in all, Kaguya cannot be resurrected like in the original. Unless she can find another way, or simply use the wedge to reincarnate like Momoshiki and Ishiki. The ōTsutsuki clan is a disgusting race. Not only does it have a lifespan of thousands of years, but it can also be reincarnated using a wedge, making it an existence that transcends death. However, it is still unknown whether Kaguya can use the wedge in his soul state. So no need to worry. The invasion of ōTsutsuki Toneri was just a small episode. The wedding went on as usual without any interruption. In the evening, after the guests had dispersed, Naruto and Hinata returned to the room, sat opposite each other, and looked at each other. Hinata lowered her eyes, and a seductive blush appeared on her fair face. She was more delicate than flowers. "Hinata, you are so beautiful." Naruto reached out his hand and gently stroked Hinata's face, unable to help but sigh softly. "Elder brother." Hinata held Naruto's hand, put it against her face, and then leaned gently into Naruto's arms. "Brother, please have mercy." This night, Naruto and Hinata had a wonderful night together. For half a month, Naruto and Hinata were tired of being together, not going out or seeing anyone else. A big addiction, not obsession. The taste of it is not enough for outsiders to explain. Time flies. A month passed in the blink of an eye. This day, Naruto came to the moon again. "I'm here today not for anything else, but for the two super Tenseigans on the moon." Although ōTsutsuki Toneri is dead, the two Tenseigans made by ōTsutsuki branch house people are still there. One is a purple Tenseigan. One is a yellow Tenseigan. The former is a branch house member of the ōTsutsuki clan who contributed his own Byakugan and was formed by merging countless Byakugan. The branch house people used this Tenseigan to eliminate the members of the clan who advocated peace. The origin of the yellow Tenseigan is unknown, but it is stored within the Hamura Shrine. It has been worshipped by the ōTsutsuki clan on the moon for thousands of years, and its power can move the moon. Naruto wanted to try to fuse the two Tenseigans. He wants to know, can I fuse TH? Chapter 108, The rain has passed and the sky has cleared up. Erzhuzi feels that he is doing well. Agai Chapter 108, The rain has passed and the sky has cleared up. Erzhuzi feels that he is doing well. Agai. Time stands still. A clear voice echoed through Konoha. The next second, a scene that shocked everyone happened. The 4 meteorites that fell at high speed and were about to hit the village suddenly stopped. Yes, it's still. It suddenly stopped in midair, motionless, as if the pause button was suddenly pressed and it stopped instantly. This is... stopped. What happened? In the end, what happened? Everyone's faces showed disbelief. These 4 meteorites were huge, fell at high speed, and carried unparalleled impact. Masters like Hashirama, Kakashi, Guy can indeed destroy them violently. But it is simply impossible to stop the meteorite. Not to mention that it stopped suddenly like now. This is not something human beings can do. In everyone's shocked and stunned eyes, a figure with white hair slowly rose into the sky. Naruto. Naruto is back. Very good. Naruto stopped 4 meteorites. No wonder. Only Naruto in the entire ninja world can stop meteorites in this way, right? Seeing Naruto, everyone suddenly understood and breathed a sigh of relief. Naruto may not be able to do things that others can't do. He is the strongest in the ninja world. Space exile. Naruto came to the sky above the village and lightly snapped his fingers. Buzz. The sky above Konoha suddenly twisted and rotated, with a radius of 1,000 meters spinning. In an instant, a space with a diameter of 1,000 meters, Uzumaki, suddenly appeared, exuding a terrifying suction force. What's this? Space Uzumaki. Time and space ninjutsu. It looks a lot like Kakashi's Kamui. Space Uzumaki exuded a terrifying suction force, sucking in 4 meteorites crazily. Under Naruto's control, this space Uzumaki is the same as time standing still, only acting on Konoha. Therefore, although the space Uzumaki exuded extremely terrifying suction force, it did not have any impact on the village. In the shocked eyes of everyone in Konoha, 4 meteorites were sucked into space one after another, and Uzumaki disappeared. Naruto lifted the space banishment. The astonishingly powerful space Uzumaki also disappeared, and the sky returned to clarity. Seeing this scene, everyone breathed a long sigh of relief. Many timid people simply collapsed to the ground, feeling so weak that they could not stand up. Naruto. Hashirama and others gathered around. Thanks to you just now, otherwise the consequences would be disastrous. Hashirama looked 820 frightened. With the size of these 4 meteorites, if they really hit, they would be enough to easily destroy Konoha and kill all the people. Yeah, it almost scared me to death. I thought I was going to die, Guy also said with a look of horror. It was really a critical moment just now. Tobirama shook his head and turned to look at Sasuke in the sky, eyes filled with destruction. This brat from the Uchiha family dares to try to destroy the village. He is really guilty. Hashirama, Minato, Guy and others also looked at Sasuke floating in the sky with very ugly expressions. The village is the enemy of all of them, and it is also something they must protect at all costs. It would be better for Sasuke to just shoot 9 meteorites to completely destroy Konoha, which is simply unforgivable. Kakashi said nothing, looking at Sasuke listlessly with dead fish eyes, confusion flashing in his eyes. Naruto looked at Sasuke too. At this time, Sasuke has already activated the complete Susanoo, standing on Susanoo's head. The perfect form of Susanoo proves that he has unlocked the eternal Mangekyō. Of course, this is not the point. The point is that Naruto sensed a huge power of 6 paths in Sasuke. This power of 6 paths is even much greater than the power of 6 paths in Senju Hashirama, Minato, and Kakashi. This is a bit incredible. 2 years ago, Hashirama transplanted Madara's Rinnegan. Based on Rinnegan's own 6 paths power, he transformed his own Ashura Chakra into 6 paths chakra. After 2 years of transformation, 1/3 of the Ashura Chakra in the body was transformed into 5 of the 6. The current Hashirama is a proper 6 paths level. The situations of Kakashi and Minato are slightly different from Hashirama, but they are similar. They possess half Ashura's body, half Indra's body, and Mangekyō Sharingan. In the past 2 years, Kakashi and Minato have also been using Ashura Chakra and Indra Chakra to refine the power of 6 paths. However, due to time constraints, the power of 6 paths in their bodies is very small, which is not enough to activate the Rinnegan. But the strength is much stronger than 2 years ago. It can be said that whether it is Hashirama, Minato, or Kakashi, they are all existences with. Chapter 109, Create Life. Chapter 109, Create Life. Tell me, what happened to your Rinnegan? Naruto looked at Sasuke and asked his confusion. Hashirama, Tobirama, Minato, Kakashi and others also looked at Sasuke with doubts in their eyes. Sasuke just started Mangekyō 2 years ago. In just 2 years, Mangekyō transformed into a Rinnegan, and one of his eyes was still a Rinnegan. This speed of progress can no longer be described as fast, but as cheating, properly cheating. Sasuke didn't hide anything and told the matter. After being rescued by Obito, he transplanted Itachi's Mangekyō. During the period of recuperation after the eye transplant, Obito and Kabuto controlled the army of dirt and started the Fourth Ninja War. Unfortunately, within 2 days, Obito failed and died, and the Fourth Ninja War ended. Obito never came back, but Black Zetsu did. Black Zetsu. Kakashi frowned and said, Black Zetsu was killed by Naruto during the Fourth Ninja War. It was killed by Naruto. I don't know that. Sasuke shook his head, but I'm sure it's not dead because I've been staying with him for the past 2 years. Until a month ago, he suddenly disappeared. Since then, there has been no news. I don't know where he went. Black Zetsu is not dead. Hashirama, Tobirama, Minato, and others looked at each other. Black Zetsu was the culprit of everything. I thought it was crushed to death by Naruto, but who knew it was not dead? How did this disgusting thing survive? It was obviously killed by Naruto. Guy couldn't help but ask. There should be a clone left. Naruto thought thoughtfully and said, Black Zetsu is a product of Yin and Yang escape and has the ability to split. As long as a certain split body doesn't die, it won't die. What I killed last time should only be part of it. It's not even dead. This guy's vitality is comparable to that of a cockroach. Everyone was speechless. Erzhuzi, you just said that you have been with Black Zetsu for the past 2 years. Naruto looked at Sasuke. So, he helped you find Madara's Rinnegan. Yes. Sasuke nodded. He helped me transplant the Rinnegan. He hopes that I can inherit Madara's legacy and activate infinite Tsukuyomi. Knew it. Naruto was stunned. Black Zetsu will never stop as long as it is alive, because it is the product of Kaguya's will. To save Kaguya is to save yourself. With both Obito and Madara dead, Sasuke is undoubtedly the best choice. Sasuke may be difficult to control, but don't forget, Shisui's left eye is still in its hand. As long as there is this Mangekyō, Black Zetsu can continuously activate distinguished heavenly gods and constantly modify Sasuke's meaning. In 2 years, who knows how many times this guy used distinguished heavenly gods on Sasuke? What happened to your left eye? Naruto asked again. Your left eye is a 6 Magatama Rinnegan, which is higher than the average Rinnegan. Without the huge power of 6 paths, it would be impossible to evolve such a high-level Rinnegan. Everyone has also noticed this, and they also have doubts in their hearts. Madara transplanted Hashirama's flesh and blood, spent decades, and did not open the Rinnegan until her later years. Just a regular Rinnegan. This shows how difficult it is to open Rinnegan. In just 2 years, Sasuke evolved the higher-level 6 Magatama Rinnegan. How did he do it? Sasuke was silent for a moment, and then revealed a shocking news. A month ago, I met Kaguya. Kaguya. Everyone was slightly startled, and then their expressions changed drastically. Kaguya. ŌTsutsuki Kaguya. Sasuke, is the Kaguya you are talking about ŌTsutsuki Kaguya? Hashirama asked hurriedly. It should be her. Sasuke nodded. She appeared in my consciousness and passed part of her power to me. It is with the help of this part of the power that my left eye successfully evolved into the 6 Magatama Rinnegan. How so? Isn't Kaguya not resurrected? Since there is no resurrection, how can the power be passed on to Sasuke? This doesn't make sense. Everyone looked at each other in disbelief. They don't doubt that Kaguya passed on his power to Sasuke. Sasuke has been controlled by Black Zetsu and has become a pawn of Black Zetsu. It is understandable that Kaguya will give Sasuke power. No, Kaguya's consciousness is resurrected. Naruto shook his head and said, Last time I fought with Otsutsuki Toneri, the passerby's attack split the moon. Kaguya's main consciousness, sealed on the moon, escaped at that moment. Kaguya escaped the seal. How so? What should we do now? Everyone was a little anxious. Kaguya is the mother of Sage of 6 Paths and the ancestor of Chakra. Once she is resurrected, the consequences will be disastrous. No need to worry. Seeing everyone's faces looking heavy, as if they were facing a formidable enemy, Naruto smiled and comforted. I have Gedo Sta. Chapter 110, Fruit of the Sacred Tree. Chapter 110, Fruit of the Sacred Tree. Naruto succeeded. In just 3 months, he successfully created a life similar to 10 Tails. This being can absorb natural energy and convert it into chakra of ordinary nature. This is undoubtedly great news for ordinary people. With this thing, ordinary people can become ninjas. After that, Naruto spent another 3 months improving and upgrading to make this life more powerful. It has 3 functions. First, absorb natural energy. Second, convert natural energy into ordinary chakra. Third, combine natural energy and ordinary chakra at a ratio of 1 to create magical chakra. In other words, with this thing, even an ordinary person can condense the magic chakra and master the perfect sage mode. You have little chakra and are born unable to practice sage mode. You can't sense natural energy and can't absorb it. If you can't control natural energy well, it's easy for you to alienate and petrify it. Don't worry at all. With this kind of life, it will do everything for you. For ninjas who pursue strength, this is undoubtedly a priceless treasure to enhance their strength. As long as you have this thing, you can immediately master sage mode and refine the senjutsu chakra like Konohamaru, and your own combat power will be increased dozens of times in an instant. And it is an all-round enhancement, physical fitness, reaction speed, perception, ninjutsu. All enhanced dozens of times. One can imagine. Once this thing spreads, it will inevitably cause a bloody storm and attract countless covetousness and competition. Naruto-sama, what on earth was that thing just now? Ebisu asked with a look of disbelief. Jonin, the leader of Konohamaru, knows exactly what kind of strength he has, and he is on par with Chunin. Because the third Hokage often taught him, Konohamaru is indeed very good at fire-style and wind-style ninjutsu. The fire dragon bullet, just now, is one of them. But how powerful Konohamaru's fire dragon bullet is, Ebisu knows very well that 840 is not even 1/10 of what it was just now. But that fire dragon bullet was indeed released by Konohamaru. There is no doubt that the thing that caused Konohamaru's sudden surge in strength was that humble radish just now. That's a new one I developed. Well, just think of it as doing business. Naruto smiled lightly. So far, it seems that the effect is pretty good, and it can be promoted and used. Promote. Ebisu's eyes flashed, and he became excited instantly. He rubbed his hands excitedly. Naruto-sama, since I want to promote it, can I buy it? How much does 1 piece cost? Mo Huang and Udon also looked at Naruto eagerly. They also wanted to buy such a good thing to enhance their strength. This. Naruto pondered for a moment and said, let me discuss it with the 4th generation before we make a plan. The 4 Ebisu people left. Except for Konohamaru, the 3 Ebisu people were a little disappointed. Naruto didn't really care. The life he created will undoubtedly bring huge changes to the ninja world and the ninja profession. Must be used properly. Otherwise, there will be big trouble. That night, a family of 4 sat together to have dinner. Naruto briefly talked about what happened during the day. Minato and Kushina were shocked in place and remained silent for a long time. The 2 knew that their son was very strong, but they never expected that he would be so strong. Creating life, and such an outrageous life, is simply a magical method. However, the stakes are high. Minato did not dare to make a decision easily, and planned to wait for a meeting the next day to discuss it carefully. After discussions among Hokage and Hokage think tanks over the generations, it was finally decided to promote its use among the Jonin class first. This kind of life allows people to master the perfect sage mode. it is not a good thing to let Genin and Chunin use it too early. For Genin, the most important thing is to accumulate more practical experience, learn more ninjutsu, and practice the speed of seal formation. Being exposed to this kind of life too early and mastering power that does not belong to your own level will be harmful and useless. On this day, the Jonin of Konoha gathered in the Hokage building. Sakumo, Kakashi, Asuma, Shinosuke, Might-Guy, Yuehong, Narashikaku, Yamanaka Haiichi, Akamichi Dingzuo, Uchiha Fugaku, Hyuga Hayashi. But for Konoha Jonin, everything that should come has come. Even Shikamaru, Neji, Zio Lee, and other juniors who were just promoted to Jonin this year came. Hokage building, large conference room on the 3rd floor. The Jonin chatted in 2s and 3s, their words full of expectations and hopes. Shikamaru, Neji, Tenten, Little Sakura, and others also gathered together. And by the way, Sasuke also came. Shikamaru, is that rumor true or false? Zio Lee approached Shika. Chapter 111, The Arrival of Tao, Shi and Jin. Shi. Chapter 111, The Arrival of Tao, Shi and Jin. Shi. The fruit of the sacred tree is huge, but eating it is effortless. As soon as the pulp enters the stomach, it turns into pure energy and spreads to the limbs and bones, sweeping through the internal organs. This energy carries a huge amount of genetic information, and after pouring into Naruto's body, it begins to purify Naruto's genes. Naruto could feel that useless, redundant, and harmful gene sequences in his body were being quickly eliminated. Useful, powerful, and beneficial gene sequences are strengthened, awakened, and unlocked. Naruto began to transform from a genetic level. As the fruits of the sacred tree continued to enter his body, Naruto's consciousness gradually fell into a state of chaos. The huge energy condensed into substance and formed a spherical jade cocoon around Naruto's body, shrouding Naruto. This jade cocoon is like jade and white crystal. Its surface is radiant and crystal clear. I don't know how much time passed. It might have been an instant, or it might have been 10,000 years, when suddenly there was a crisp sound. Click! A crack appeared on the surface of the jade cocoon. Then came the 2nd and 3rd cracks that spread like a tree diagram, covering the entire jade cocoon. With a clicking sound, the jade cocoon shattered into pieces, turning into countless crystal fragments and flying everywhere. A handsome figure appeared. He has long, snow-white hair, and his eyes are as gentle as jade. The skin is crystal clear, like the finest mutton fat white jade, so clean that not a single pore can be seen. His face is extremely handsome. His face is like a crown jewel, and his body is slender, as if made of golden proportions. The muscle lines are well proportioned and smooth. A little less will make you look thinner, a little more will make you fatter, and everything will look perfect. Is this what Otsutsuki Kaguya was like back then? Naruto murmured. Sure enough, it has surpassed the 6 paths level and reached a whole new level. Naruto was very aware of his changes. Despite his delicate skin and tender flesh, his skin is as fair as jade, and it seems that it can be broken by a slight drop. But in fact, his body is completely condensed from pure chakra. Invulnerable to invulnerability, water and fire, ordinary physical arts, ninjutsu, illusions, celestial arts. Can't leave any trace. Naruto clenched his fists, feeling the vast power surging within his body, feeling like he could blow up the planet beneath his feet with one punch. After taking the fruit of the sacred tree, I have undergone earth-shaking changes in every aspect. First 27 is the physical body. My current body has completely surpassed the sage of 6 paths body and reached another level. Immortal and eternal youth. This is true immortality. No matter what damage you take, you can recover. If you want to defeat me, there is no other way but to seal it. Second is the soul. Like my physical body, my soul also possesses the property of immortality and cannot be killed at all. Then comes the chakra amount. The amount of chakra I have now is 10,000 times greater than before. Even peak Kaguya can't compare to me. This is no exaggeration at all. It takes thousands of years for the sacred tree to absorb thousands of years of natural energy and chakra before it can bear a single fruit. For thousands of years. You can imagine how much chakra this sacred tree fruit contains. Compared with the fruit of a divine tree, the amount of chakra from 10 tails is somewhat insignificant. At last, Naruto raised his eyelids, his eyebrows suddenly split open, and a strange scarlet eye appeared. This eye has all the characteristics of a Rinnegan and a Sharingan. It has the ripples of Rinnegan and the red appearance and squish of Sharingan. It is the Samsara Sharingan, exactly the same as the eye between Kaguya'S eyebrows, and both belong to the blood successor snare. But Naruto's Samsara Sharingan has different energy than Kaguya'S. Kaguya'S Reincarnation, Sharingan, has 2 abilities, Infinite Tsukuyomi and Ama no Anaka. Naruto's Reincarnation, Sharingan, has the abilities, Time Rewind and Heaven's Control. Back in time. You can go back in time, not only to the outside world, but also to your own time. This alone is much more advanced than ŌTsutsuki Urashiki Blue Rinnegan's ability, Time Recall. ŌTsutsuki Urashiki can only go back in time to the outside world, not himself, and can only go back a few seconds. Naruto can travel back in time, not only to the outside world, but also to himself, and there is no time limit. This means that as long as Naruto has enough chakra, he can always turn back time. Until the chakra is exhausted. This is very buggy. It is equivalent to having countless regret medicines and having the opportunity. Chapter 112, God of ŌTsutsuki, Chapter 112, God of ŌTsutsuki. Seeing this tailed beast bomb, all the audience's hair stood on end and their scalps went numb. If such a large, high-density chakra ball were to be dropped, would they still be able to survive? Hashirama and others also had serious expressions on their faces, but they were not afraid of this level of attack. But with so many spectators present, once this thing explodes, there will definitely be countless casualties. Even the entire village will be affected, causing unimaginable serious consequences. Brother, can you absorb it? Tobirama looked at Hashirama beside him. The chakra is too huge. My Rinnegan can't absorb it for a while. Hashirama shook his head. Then we can only move it away. Tobirama took out a kunai and prepared to activate the Flying Thunder God technique to transfer the tailed beast bomb away. Despicable lower-class creatures, go to hell. Momoshiki let out a crazy smile, and with a strong wave, the tailed beast bomb hit the ground. Flying Thunder God technique. Tobirama is about to take action. No need to bother. A familiar voice suddenly sounded in their ears. Hashirama and others were shocked and found that there were more people around them. Naruto. Hashirama and others looked ecstatic. You guys are finally willing to come back. Just come back. Everyone, long time no see. Naruto smiled and nodded at everyone, then looked at the dropped, tailed beast bomb and activated his devouring ability. Buzz! Naruto's palm immediately released a terrifying devouring force, frantically devouring the high-density chakra balls that were thrown at him. In just a few breaths, the huge chakra ball was swallowed cleanly by Naruto, leaving no trace behind. This is Rinnegan's devouring power. Taoshi's pupils shrank, and she stared at Naruto with a gloomy gaze. You humble, inferior creature, who are you? ŌTsutsuki Momoshiki. Naruto looked at Momoshiki. I want to ask you a few questions. I hope you can answer me honestly. Inferior creatures, do you think you can compete with us, the ŌTsutsuki clan, if you have the power? Momoshiki sneered, full of disdain. Let me tell you, in front of the real ŌTsutsuki, what inferior creatures like you have mastered are nothing. What a shame. Naruto snorted coldly, gathered the chakra into his palm, and punched it suddenly. A fist formed by chakra tore through the void instantly and slammed into Momoshiki. 80 God's airstrike. Boom! The speed of Chakra's fist was so fast that Momoshiki had Byakugan and immediately caught the trajectory of the fist. But he just can't avoid it. Boom! Chakra's fist hit Momoshiki hard, like a sledgehammer hitting iron body. Taoshi groaned and spat out a mouthful of blood, which flew straight out like a cannonball. Lord Momoshiki. Jinchi was shocked and quickly flew towards Momoshi, catching Momoshi before he hit the ground. Momo-sama, are you okay? Jinchi held Momoshiki's hand and asked with concern on his face. Puff. Taoshi spat out a mouthful of blood, her face became even paler, and she was obviously seriously injured by the punch. But the ferocity and anger in his eyes were like raging fire, reaching the point of bursting into anger. Despicable lower creatures. Momoshiki pushed Jinchuriki away, veins popped out on her forehead, and she stared at Naruto angrily. I want you to die. Boom. He responded with another punch. Taoshi was beaten again until she vomited blood and flew backwards. As a servant, Jinchuriki couldn't stand it anymore and roared angrily at Naruto. The red ring behind him transformed into a giant red Naginata. Jinchi held a giant red Naginata and slashed towards Naruto as if he was dying, trying to cut Naruto into pieces. Naruto, be careful. When everyone saw this, they immediately issued a warning. There is no doubt that Jinchi is a 6 paths level master, and his attacks are naturally at the 6 paths level, so he doesn't dare to be careless. Naruto smiled faintly, stretched out his right hand, and grabbed the fast-attacking Naginata in his hand. What? Jinchi's face was full of astonishment, and he looked at Naruto in disbelief and at the Naginata caught by Naruto. Naruto actually caught this big guy's attack with his bare hands. Isn't it outrageous? It seems that Naruto has become stronger after not showing up for more than 10 years. I really don't know what stage he has reached now. Hashirama and the others were also shocked, looking at Naruto with bewildered expressions and disbelief in their eyes. Is this the only ability of the mighty ŌTsutsuki clan? It's so disappointing, Tilda. Naruto flicked his finger. There was a crunching sound. The giant Naginata in Jinchuki's hand instantly shattered into red fragments and fell to the ground. You. Jinchi's cold and serious face showed a ghostly expression. Chapter 113 Twins. Born at 6 paths level. Chapter 113 Twins. Born at 6 paths level. I didn't expect there would be an unexpected harvest. Naruto got what he wanted to know, so naturally he would not keep the lives of the 3 ŌTsutsuki. He extracted the souls of Momoshiki, Jinchuriki, and Urashiki, and destroyed them on the spot, eliminating any possibility of reincarnation. In this way, even in pure world reincarnation, and Wedge cannot save Momoshiki, Jinchuriki, and Urashiki. They have completely disappeared from this world. Naruto put the bodies of the 3 people into Kamui space. Their bodies still have a certain value. Rinnegan can be transplanted to others, and the body can be given to Orochimaru for research and treated as waste. After doing this, Naruto looked at everyone, and everyone immediately surrounded Naruto. Naruto, you just read that guy's memory, right? Do you have any information about the ŌTsutsuki clan? Naruto, who are these 3 guys? Are there any other accomplices after them? Everyone asked questions. I have a strong interest in Momoshiki, Jinchuriki, Urashiki, and the ŌTsutsuki clan behind them. Naruto was about to answer when a crying voice sounded in his ears. Naruto. Naruto turned around and saw Hinata jumping off the stands and running towards him quickly, already crying into tears. It's gone, it's all gone. Hashirama said with a smile. The couple finally reunited, so let's not cause any trouble. Everyone smiled and wisely stepped aside, leaving Naruto to Hinata. Naruto. Hinata is a very shy person, and due to her strict upbringing since childhood, she rarely does anything out of the ordinary. But at this moment, Hinata completely ignored her reserve and threw herself into Naruto's arms, crying loudly. The worries, longings, and rumors of the past 10 years completely broke out at this moment. Naruto was filled with guilt, picked up Hinata, and quietly disappeared without a trace. After they disappeared, the whole place was completely ebullient. Who is that guy? He's so powerful. He killed 3 enemies in 3 strikes, 5 divided by 2. You don't even know him. He's from Satomura, right? He is the hero who single-handedly ended the 4th Ninja War, the strongest man in the ninja world, Uzumaki Naruto. Ah, he is Uzumaki Naruto. Damn it. Uzumaki Naruto is my idol, and I didn't even recognize him. Awesome, it's so awesome. The whole place exploded, and the people were excited and excitedly discussing the battle just now. Naruto has a lot of fans, and many of the new generation of ninjas grew up listening to his legend. In the eyes of these people, Naruto is a more legendary ninja than Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara. How can they not be excited now that they see Naruto in person? 120 Naruto Guy. Sasuke stood in the stands, quietly looking at the direction Naruto left, and sighed quietly. Over the years, Sasuke has always regarded Naruto as his goal and practiced hard for more than 10 years. In order to defeat Naruto with my own hands one day, Sasuke's hard work paid off. He not only successfully entered the Six Paths level, but also practiced the Sage of Six Paths Body, Rinnegan, and Six Paths Chakra. He also mastered the Six Paths Senjutsu, Incomplete Yin-Yang Escape, Truth-Seeking Ball, and Time and Space Ninjutsu. Naruto, I thought the gap with you had narrowed, but I didn't expect. It's getting bigger and bigger. Sasuke let out a long sigh, with frustration in his eyes. The battle between Naruto and Momoshiki was very short, but the fighting power displayed was extremely exaggerated. The terrifying physical fitness, the weird time ability, the use of Rinnegan, all far surpassed Sasuke. These are just the tip of the iceberg of what Naruto has shown. Sasuke doesn't know what other methods Naruto has. This is the scariest thing. Dad, he is Uzumaki Naruto. Sarana came to Sasuke at some point and asked, as she looked at her father who was in a daze. Sasuke hummed slightly, his eyes softening. Sasuke has an indifferent expression towards everyone, but he is very gentle towards his only daughter. This kind of treatment is not even given to his wife Sakura. Uzumaki Naruto is so awesome. Zuo wore a pair of eyes, but her dark eyes shone with deep admiration. Dad, you were in the same class as Uzumaki Naruto back then. Can you tell me his story? Sarana took Sasuke's arm, looking forward to it. Good. Sasuke did not refuse and looked up at the sky, his consciousness falling into long-lasting memories. This is a story about a counterattack from the tail end of a crane. At home. Room. Hinata is actually very easy to coax, especially Naruto, who can coax Hinata with just a few words. My dear, don't be angry. This time it was indeed an accident. I promise that nothing like this will happen again in the future. I am not angry. Hinata hugged Naruto.
All right, legends, that's it for today. If you're ready for the next chapter, smash that like button and flood the comments right now. Subscribe so you don't miss the drop, and I'll meet you in the next